you gotta remember what you write down, Mr. Barth.
Gotcha.
Always comes back to bite you in the behind.
The girlfriend says she loaned him money for a truck. The boyfriend says he paid her back.
He won me over too, and...
No, don't add two. He didn't win me over, Miss Daly. My grandmother used to say, beauty fades, dumb is forever.
But first...
Why did you fix her car? I says, why didn't you call me? I told Nikki, why didn't you call me? I'm your parent. It's up to me to decide what's gonna happen.
You can't get along on your good looks forever, madam. You know? After a while, the looks...
Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Sheesh. Judge, this is case number 283 on the calendar in the matter of Johnson versus McDermott.
Thank you, sir.
Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Johnson, according to your complaint, sir, you and the defendant were dating briefly. She had an accident in the car she was driving. Is the car your car?
It was my parents' car.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Mazda 626.
New?
No, it was an 83.
You got into an accident with the car. According to you, Mr. Johnson, the defendant came to you and she was very upset.
Yep, scared of her dad's reaction, didn't know what she'd do. And I said, I know someone who can fix her car. Brought it over there and got it fixed. And while she said that she didn't have the money, I said, I could let you borrow the money. She said, sure, that'd be great. Well, at first she denied it. She's like, no, don't do that for me. Please don't do that. I was like, all right, well, just if you need the money, and when you start your job, you can start paying me back. She's like, all right, because she was scared of what her dad was going to do. Got her car fixed. 2 days later, after that, she split on me in so many words, like our relationship ended. And for about 1.5 years, I tried getting in contact with her maybe like 10 times in a total of 1.5 years, and I never got a response back to her.
Mr. Johnson, let's go back a little bit because you sort of fluffed over this oral contract that you had with her that you're suing on, sir. She came to your house and she said she was very upset.
Well, she was crying and stuff. She didn't know what she was going to do.
So far, he's correct.
She did not know what she was going to do.
So far, he's correct.
She's correct to the point where he just said that he said he'd lend me the money, and he never said that. He told me that he had a friend that owed him favors and that he would get it fixed. And I said...
Yeah, for cheaper.
Just
no, you never
don't
said
interrupt.
That.
Go ahead.
And so I was like, I was really scared. I was in shock. I just got in an accident. And I said, no, because I don't have money to get it fixed. I'm just going to have to tell my dad. And then he didn't want me to get in trouble. So he said, no, we'll get it fixed. So we took it to the shop, got it fixed.
When you took it to the shop, was there any discussion about $600?
Not until he was going to get it fixed, and then the guy said it'll be $600.
So there was discussion about $600?
Yes.
So...
And then Dino, I looked at Dino, and he said, no, they're going to take care of it. Because he said the guy owed him a lot of favors.
That's not true.
But then I did not, it didn't hit me until we were on our way home, and I asked him who's going to pay for it. And he said, I will. And I said, no, I don't want you to pay for it. Take it out of the shop. And he didn't. And
so you said to him, take it out of the shop?
Yeah, I asked him to call them.
And he said what?
He said, no, don't worry about it. They'll take care of it.
So you didn't say to him, take me right back to the shop and let's get it out of the shop?
I asked him to. I said, take me over there or call them. And he didn't.
But then there came a time when you went back and picked up this car. Is that right?
Yes.
A fixed car?
Yes.
Did you pay for the car, sir?
Yes, I did. $600. She was there.
Let me see proof of that.
She told me that when she was able to get a job, she would pay me back. I said, little payments are fine, whenever. And she was like, okay, I'm going to pay you back, even when we were like breaking up or whatever we had together.
Who signed for this?
I did. I've taken many cars to Miguel.
Miguel, that's the name of this person?
Miguel's Auto Body Shop.
Good. Let me make a call. Is this Miguel? Miguel, this is Judge Judy Sheindlin. Do you know who I am? Well, I'm a judge who is hearing a case that has something to do with your auto body shop. And I have a couple of questions to ask you. Do you have a moment for me? Good. Do you know someone by the name of Dino Johnson? Yes. He says he's brought many customers to your shop. And this has to do with a car that was brought to you, a 1983 Mazda in 1995. He says he came in with a young woman who had been in an accident with her car. Yes? Well, could you tell me what you remember about that, sir? Right, so 2 or 3 weeks ago he came in and he asked you for a bill. Right, because I'm looking at this bill and it doesn't look as if it's a couple of years old. It looks like it's a relatively new bill. And it says here, sir, there's something that's circled, and it said that you were paid in cash. So how did you know it was $600? Is not an answer, Miguel. Okay, Miguel, you've been very cooperative. Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I said, well, I don't think my husband would have murdered his daughter. And I said, I would have been able to handle that.
And later today,
You know, you got to remember what you write down, Mr. Barth.
Gotcha.
Always comes back to bite you in the behind.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dean Johnson is suing his former girlfriend, Nicole McDermott, because he gave her money to fix her car and she never repaid him. Nicole says Dean is angry because she broke up with him and started dating his friend.
Now, Mr. Johnson, one of the reasons I went to make a phone call is this didn't look like something you had had around for 2.5 years. So Miguel seemed to know all about this lawsuit. I figured maybe he has no business because 2.5 years go by. Boy, he remembered everything, like she was your girlfriend and then broke up with you, and he knew the whole story. That led me to believe that you had been there more recently.
Yeah, because my mechanic is right next door.
No, because you needed a new bill.
Yeah, and I got a new bill, and she was there when I paid for
Now,
it.
just a second. You got a
I'm
new
just telling
bill.
you.
Shh. You got a new bill. This he gave you a couple of weeks ago. This was not the original bill. He has no invoice with regard to it because I asked him how come. He remembered that it was $600. He said, well, he remembers that it was $600. He had no invoice because he wrote paid cash, which means that he didn't write it down anywhere else.
Exactly.
Well, I have no doubt that $600 was in fact paid because according to Miguel, who I believe, who was very honest with me on the phone, he said that the original estimate was much more, about $850, but because he was referred by a friend and had done a lot of work there, he said he would do it for less. I have another couple of questions for you, Miss McDermott. You say you rear-ended this car and you had hundreds of dollars worth of damage on your car. What happened to the other car?
The other car, it was a Ford Explorer. There was only a small scratch, and it was a rental car, so they didn't care.
So he didn't care.
No, so nothing happened to it.
Did you ultimately tell your father about this?
Yes, I did.
When?
I told him approximately, he found out, and then I told him about 2 months after it happened.
Are you working?
Yes.
You have to pay for this. It's reasonable, right? He was being a nice guy.
See, he told me I didn't have to worry about paying him back. And he even told my mother that on the telephone, that I don't have to worry about it. And she asked him, what happens if she breaks up with you? And he
Well, let
said,
me, just don't tell me. Let her tell me. You're her mother.
Yes,
Your
I
last
learned
name
about
is?
it, McDermott.
Yes.
I learned about the accident approximately 2 days after the accident. The car was already in the shop. It was almost repaired, and they were ready to pick it up. I had spoke to Dino about it. I said, Dino, we don't have the money to pay you for the car. My husband, one of the reasons why we hadn't told my husband, he had had 7 surgeries in the last 4 years. He was having a very hard time with his health, and I didn't want to tell him. I kept things from him because I didn't want to disturb his health anymore.
Good idea.
But I told Dino, I said, Dino, why did you fix her car? I says, why didn't you call me? I told Nikki, why didn't you call me? I'm your parent. It's up to me to decide what's going to happen. He says, well, she couldn't have driven it that way and her father would have gotten really mad. I says, well, he said her father would have killed her. I says, well, I don't think my husband would have murdered his daughter. And I said I would have been able to handle that. I said she would have either, one, had to have driven the car like it was, if it was drivable. I never saw it. I said, or found alternate transportation. He says, don't worry about it. She doesn't have to pay me back. And it was like a done
She
deal.
didn't have to pay me back right away.
It
As soon as
wasn't.
she got a job, because she wasn't working at the time. I said, even $20,
Miss McDermott.
$10 here and
Miss
there, that'd be
McDermott,
fine.
listen to me. You have to teach your daughter responsibility. How old is she?
She'll be 20.
And so this happened 2.5 years ago, so she wasn't quite 18, correct?
Right.
Well, then you have to teach her responsibility. I can understand that. 17 years old, still a baby, they do a lot of stupid things. But she was in an accident with the car. And if you're in an accident, you have to bear responsibility for taking care of it. I can understand her boyfriend at that time saying, listen, don't worry about it, you're not working, you know, I don't want you to get in trouble with your father, I will help you out. But then within a relatively short period of time, they weren't a couple anymore. Don't you think it's the responsible thing for your daughter to do? To pay her debts? Don't you think so? Sure it is. Now, but you have another problem, Mr. Johnson.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
My grandmother used to say, beauty fades, dumb is forever.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dean Johnson says his former girlfriend, Nicole McDermott, borrowed money to fix her car and never paid him back. Nicole claims the money was a gift.
You have another problem, Mr. Johnson. How old are you, sir?
21.
So you were over 18 when you made this arrangement with Miss McDermott,
Yes,
and she was under 18. Is that right?
I believe so. I wasn't exactly sure of her age.
How old were you?
I was.
I think she just
I
turned
think
18.
I just turned 18.
You did just turn 18. Are you lucky? Because if she were under 18, she couldn't make a contract with you, even a verbal one. You understand that?
I do now.
She can't be bound by it. She can't be sued on it. But if she were it was over 18, then she has reached her majority. Miss McDermott, you have to take care of your bills. You drive a car, there are expenses. You have an accident, you have to pay for them.
That's why I didn't want him to fix my car.
But he fixed it, madam. And you're over 18, and you were sitting in the car, and nobody said you had to leave the car there. It was drivable. You could have said, forget it. I don't have the money. I'm going to deal with my father. You didn't do that. Don't take advantage of a situation. How much after this did you two break up?
Like,
It was about a week.
About a week.
maybe even less than that.
That's a
like
very
3
expensive
days.
He
week.
didn't even want the money back
All right.
until.
Miss McDermott, you can't get along on your good looks forever, madam. You know? After a while, the looks go. And you have other things that you have to rely on, and that is your good name and integrity and responsibility and all those good things. Now, if you two had ended up an item, you got married and whatever, if he came to me 20 years later and said to me, she owes me $600 for the car, I would have shown him the door. But he did this because he cared for you. So, you're supposed to do the right thing. And the right thing is to pay him back his money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600.
Bodies are excused. You may step out. Back good to your right.
And now the next case.
Bodies on Daly versus Barth. Step forward, please.
29-year-old Christina Daly says she loaned her ex-boyfriend, Matthew Barth, money to buy a truck, which he never repaid. Matthew claims he sold the truck and gave Christina the money, making them even.
A long time ago,
Yes.
he was your boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
And these papers say that while he was your boyfriend, he needed a truck,
Yes.
but he had no money.
That's correct.
So he asked you for the money, and you gave him how much?
I wrote him a check for $4,000.
And you don't seem to deny that, sir.
No, the only part that I would deny is that she offered me the money. But
That's not correct.
Just a second. No, let's not fight back and forth. $4,000 was the amount.
yes,
And this happened about 4 years ago. Is that right?
I wrote the check on July 19th of 1993.
Okay. And then your relationship was over.
yes,
That was in 94.
But you had the truck.
yes, I did.
And you've never, according to her, you've never paid her back the $4,000.
That's correct.
Now, Mr. Barth, I read your answer very carefully, sir. And you seem to have a whole menu of defenses to this action.
Yes.
A whole menu. So let me see if I've got them all. Because, you know, I'm getting old, so I may forget one or two. First, you say it was a gift and not a loan because she offered you the money. Correct?
Correct.
Then you say, I think I paid her back.
I did pay her back a portion of the money.
Then you
incorrect.
say the statute of limitations ran.
That is a defense, Your Honor.
Your second defense belies the first defense, because if you say you paid her back the money, or at least a portion of it, that would suggest to me that you acknowledge that there was, in fact, a loan.
Yes.
So we want to take that first defense that it was a gift and sort of shove it, right?
Okay, well, gift and then offering the money, but under terms, I would probably believe that I would have to pay her back the money. So as a gift is something you don't pay back.
Did you understand that?
So I guess.
Catch.
Let's do this again very slowly, Mr. Barth. Why don't you
Absolutely.
try again with me in English?
Okay, it was a loan, and I accepted the loan.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Now, $4,000. And you say you paid her back.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, when
Look
at the
here.
termination of the relationship,
Yes.
I had to sell the truck
Why is that?
because in order for me to get any kind of ground to pay her back, I have to come up with some money to pay her back.
Yeah.
So I sold the truck. And I paid her back what I received for the truck.
That's not correct, Your Honor.
Just a second. So you say that when you broke up, in order to be able to pay her back for this loan, which you felt obligated to do, you sold the truck and gave her back the money.
Yes.
How much did you give her back?
$2,500.
And that was the reason. Is that correct?
Yes.
You know, you got to remember what you write down, Mr. Barth.
Gotcha.
Always comes back to bite you in the behind. All right? I sold the truck shortly thereafter. The intent was to dissolve anything that would link us together. That smacks more of an emotional reason for selling this truck than an obligation. So, let us assume for the moment, sir, let us assume for the moment that I believed you, which I don't. Unless you have proof, of course, of the check that you gave her.
No.
Oh, of course not.
Don't.
What happened to the other $1,500?
$1,500, the truck wasn't worth what it was originally worth. So
Well,
that's
since
why-
when did she become a partner in your misfortune? You bought the truck for $4,000. If you acknowledge that you made a loan, $4,000, and you sold it for $2,500, she didn't become a partner in your loss. Oh. Now, did you ask him for this money?
Yes, I did. On several occasions, I've asked him for the money. And how he would respond to me was, I would love to pay you the money back, but I do not have the money. And I believed Matt because we were together for 2.5 years and Matt never had any money. And so I believed him when he told me that, and I trusted him when he told me.
But he's got a great smile.
He's very charming. Yes, he won me over too. And
No, don't add two. He didn't win me over, Miss Daly. Miss Daly, didn't win me over, madam.
Okay, well, you're smarter than I.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Mr. Barth,
Yes, Your Honor.
you owe her $4,000. And I leave you with this one thought. You're not going to be gorgeous forever, sir. Eventually, you're going to have to rely on people respecting you, trusting you, feeling as if you're reliable and responsible, because there are a lot of pretty faces out there. Right? My grandmother used to say, beauty fades, dumb is forever. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,000. That's all.
Party's out excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy. Two best friends had a deal to split the lucky door prize, a new Jeep, but one of them changed her mind.
If we would win the Jeep, we would split it up. She told me that she wanted me to keep the Jeep.
You speak to this pain in the neck who says to you, I don't think you have to split it with her at all because it was your ticket, it was in your hand. Oh, you're the troublemaker.
In a raffle, but Tina refuses to share it. Tina claims it was her ticket that won the Jeep, making her the sole winner.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Now, this is case number 301 on the calendar in the matter of Peraza versus Barraza. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
You two gals are real good friends. You went to some sort of an event, which you're going to tell me about. One of the things that happened at that event was that there was a door prize of a brand new Jeep automobile. Right?
Correct. Yes.
She won, you think that you should get half. Right?
No. Not exactly.
Well,
I think we both won.
you think you both won, and she claimed the prize.
Yeah, she ended up going behind my back and claiming the prize.
All right, let's start from the beginning. What kind of an event was this?
It was just an event from a radio station and Taco Bell. It was just a concert.
Slowly.
It was just a concert. It was just a concert where these rappers are going to be there or something like that.
You, according to your complaint, got the concert tickets and asked her if she wanted to go.
No. She got the concert tickets.
She got the tickets.
Yeah, and she asked me if I wanted to go.
Okay.
And I agreed, and we went. And at the door, they asked us if we wanted to gamble, and we said yes. And they gave us $500 fake dollars each.
Did you have to pay for that?
No. No, they just asked us at the front, if you wanted to gamble, you got $500. If you didn't, well, you didn't gamble.
So it was like Monopoly money.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
And after that, she asked me, I mean, I was there with her the whole time, but then she asked me if she could gamble my money, and I said, sure, go ahead, you know, and she's like...
You weren't gambling?
No, I was just standing right there, just helping her out. That was about it. She gambled, she got all my money, she gambled it away, and we ended up getting chips for, just chips, regular chips that you gamble with, in return when you were gambling. So we had to trade those in for tickets. And after that, some guys just came up to us and told us that, oh, they were leaving, they were in a rush, so they came over and they gave us their tickets. They said, here, girls, good luck, and if you guys win, give us a call.
So now you had these whole bunch of tickets, and you threw them in a pot.
We just, yeah. That was,
Who held on to the stubs?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Okay.
yes, it was, she had it in my backpack, so she put it in the backpack. We had a backpack, it was only one, so she put them in there.
And you had a whole bunch of them. How many did you have?
There was probably 50 or probably more. I wouldn't know. We didn't count them. And we just threw them inside the backpack, and it was time for them to call out the tickets. The time came, so we went down there, and they started calling out tickets. We won other prizes. Prior to that, we won something else, and it was time to call out.
What else did you win?
We won a jacket and a backpack, and...
What'd you do with that?
One of us kept the backpack, and the other one kept the jacket.
Is that right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I guess the time came to win the thing, and we just got the tickets, and she's like, here, you take half, because there was so many of them. We just split them up. She said, you take half, I'll take the other half. And
to look
yeah,
at the numbers as they were calling the numbers.
Yeah, so then after that, they called the number. That was about it. They called
And
it.
you had the ticket. You were holding that ticket.
Yeah, she was holding the ticket.
Okay. Now let me ask you this question. I'll ask you this question. There came a time when you did split up these tickets, right? She held half and you held half. Tell me about that moment.
As I recall, we just split them up.
Not we
evenly.
split them up. They're in your hands.
Okay, I split them up evenly.
Split them up evenly.
Yes, I just gave her half, and you know, we both looked at them.
Okay. Am I correct that your reason that was done was because it's too difficult to look at all the numbers as they're calling out the numbers, like in a bingo or something, you know,
Yes.
so that each one of you was looking through half,
Correct.
right? And your ticket won.
Yeah, they were my tickets. They were all my tickets.
Now, why do you think they were all your tickets?
Because she had given me her $500. I did not ask her if I can play with her $500. She gave them to me. She gave the $500 to me.
How did that come about?
She said, here, take my money. You can gamble with it.
Is that what you said?
No.
No, that's not what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
No.
No, we were gambling. She ended up, she was like down to her last $50, and she just said, can I, oh, let me have your money. And she said, if we would win the Jeep, we would split it up.
I had said that from the guys' tickets. I had the guys' tickets in one hand, and I had my tickets in the other hand, the ones that I had won.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. all the tickets were together in your backpack at one
No.
point? Oh, I
Yes,
think that
at
they probably
one point-
were.
at
All
one
the
point we put
tickets
them
were
all
together
together.
in your backpack.
At one point, I had put them all together, yes.
So at that point, they were all mixed together.
Yes.
Yours and the guys.
Yes.
Right. So there really is no way of knowing whether it was your ticket that won or the guy's ticket that won.
Exactly.
Well, now at least we got that straight. So it's not in one hand and then the other hand.
But I had told her, out of their tickets that they gave us, actually they gave me the tickets, and I told her out of those tickets, if we win it, we'll split it because we were friends.
You couldn't tell whether it was their ticket that won.
No, we could not.
You just assumed it was comfortable for you to say it wasn't one of their tickets that won, it was my ticket that won.
I did not say that.
You had no way of knowing whether it was your ticket that won or one of the guys' tickets that won. Mm-hmm. Right?
Exactly.
Am I dealing? Hello?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You speak to this pain in the neck, and a 12-year friendship is down the drain over a Jeep.
And later today,
He had stolen my daughter's clothes before. I also have sex letters where he signed up for sex calls. And I have pictures to prove what kind of person he is.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 19-year-old Myra Barraza is suing her former best friend Tina Barraza after they won a new Jeep in a raffle.
I see that you have a tape there. Can you tell me what that tape is of?
This is just the day of the event. Recorded us where we both claimed the prize. We both did go up there and claim the prize. And
For the
said,
Jeep?
Yes.
I want to see it.
Here we go. 607-487. You got it? All right, girl. We're going right home with it. Who won the Jeep?
Well, that certainly looks as if, at least at that moment, there was a mutuality that each of you won that prize. So what happened?
I was willing to split with her.
So?
And that's what we were going to do until about a month later. She had called me up, and she had said that she wanted to give it to me. She said, go ahead and have it, in other words.
Where was it?
I hadn't got it yet.
Did you do that?
No, I called her up. There was all this stuff was going on with the Jeep. We didn't know what we were going to do. It was a big old thing about it. We didn't know how we were going to split it up, who was going to pay for tax and license and everything. And we were going to get the confirmation letter. And I called her up and I told her, yes, you could stay with the Jeep. But she had said if she stood with the Jeep, she was going to give me an $8,000 loan. That's how much the car was worth, $16,000.
I did not state that.
And I told her, okay. She said she was going to tell her dad, sell her other car that she had just bought, sell it back, and instead of paying $15,000, she'll just tell her dad to get an $8,000 loan and pay me for it. And I said, okay. We agreed. I never thought anything. I just said, okay. We didn't. It was just a verbal thing. But I did tell her, okay, you could keep the Jeep and
that sounds reasonable because you can't split up the Jeep.
Yeah, and I just said, okay. And I said, you could pay my $8,000 or else we're just going to sell the Jeep and we're both going to get our half.
She did not say that on the phone. She told me that she wanted me to keep the Jeep. That's what she told me.
What? Of course, that's what she said to you.
Yeah, but she did not specify that she wanted me to give her $8,000.
Well, why would she make you a gift of $8,000? If the Jeep is worth $16,000, why in the world do you think, madam, that she would make you a gift of $8,000, which is half of the Jeep? Why?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, let's go slowly. What word didn't you understand? Why do you think that she would make you a present of $8,000.
She did not say anything about $8,000. I did not hear anything about $8,000 on that telephone call. At that time, I was like happy. I was happy that she'd given it to me. And I figured that
What are you doing standing up here?
I want to step in for the spot where she told me through everything that happened. She called me every time they had a conversation. She was asking me, what should I do? What should I do? What do I do about the Jeep? Do I split it in half? Should I sell it? What? I told her, you know what? You won the tickets to that concert. It's your Jeep. You were holding the ticket at the time she won it.
Oh, you're the troublemaker. Sit down. Sit down.
As I was saying, I figured the reason why she said that on the telephone is because she knew that she did not have any part in the ticket winning.
Oh, please, madam. I want to tell you something. I think that your conduct was really outrageous to bring it to this point. First of all, the two of you have been friends. There isn't a question in my mind. What?
9 years.
12 years.
There isn't a question in my mind, after looking at that tape, that at the time that that Jeep was won, the two of you, both of you, I saw her signing papers.
We didn't sign any
Just a
paper.
second.
It was just a back of a flyer. We put down both our names and addresses.
Right. It was the back of a flyer. You both put down your names and addresses as the winners. Right?
Yes.
That's what it looked like to me on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometime you speak to this pain in the neck who says to you, I don't think you have to split it with her at all because it was your ticket, it was in your hand. And a 12-year friendship is down the drain over a Jeep because there is no logical reason that I can think of, except if you're drinking too much, to think that this lady would call you up and say, I just want to give it to you because you're a very nice person. I care about you.
No.
Please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
That's called the Soddy principle, S-O-D-D-I. Some other dude did it.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Myra Peraza and her former best friend, Tina Peraza, won a new Jeep in a raffle. But Myra says Tina is refusing to share.
Listen to me. Bottom line is, the maximum jurisdiction in this court is $5,000.
I know.
You understand that?
Yeah, I know.
Right? Now, she claimed this prize. I assume you went and claimed the prize.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Correct. She told me to do what's right, and that's what I thought was right.
Yeah, she just went off this one day. I spoken to her the weekend before she did this. I spoken to her the whole week when she went off to the radio station and had a cashier's check with her parents, and she did this on Friday. I spoke to her Friday and Saturday. She told me nothing. I told her what's going on. She said nothing. I haven't spoken to them. I haven't heard of anything.
Miss Peraza, your friendship's over.
I know that.
And based upon what I've heard, that's probably the right thing to happen.
Yeah, I know.
Because she's not a very trustworthy person. Now, she claimed the Jeep. She's going to have to pay the taxes on it. But I'm awarding you $5,000, which is the maximum that I can. My grandmother used to say, if you do the right thing happens. If you do the wrong thing, eventually it's going to catch up with you. What you did was pretty sneaky. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Okay, you got your Jeep, better money.
Out the back door to your right, please.
Just to reiterate what Judge Judy said, bad things, it all comes back to people or whatever. It's going to come back to her because I did what I thought was right, and in God, I trust that I did what's right, and I think it's going to come back to her what she did because she was wrong, not me. She's lucky for even being there. She's lucky for even being at the event. I don't see that she deserves half. I won the tickets to go to the event, and she was even lucky that I took her.
You got your $5,000 you wanted.
I did.
So now you can shut up.
Yeah, you
too. You had nothing to do with this.
And now the next case.
Parties on Anderson versus Rankin. Step forward, please.
Margaret Anderson is suing her tenant, Tim Rankin, claiming he made phone calls to 900 numbers totaling more than $1,000.
All right, Mr. Rankin. You rented a room from the plaintiff.
That's correct.
And I believe that you will agree, based upon what doesn't seem to be in dispute, that when you moved in, you wanted a telephone in your room.
That's correct, Your Honor.
But because of prior problems, you couldn't get the phone in your name.
She offered to put the phone...
Because of prior problems, you couldn't get the phone in your name.
I owed a past due bill on the Pacific bill.
So the answer to my question is yes. You couldn't get the phone in your name.
Correct.
I knew we'd get there, Bird.
Take your time, George.
So she said, okay.
Yes.
Right? Are you nervous?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
I could tell you were nervous. She said, okay, you put the phone in your room, and within a relatively short period of time, you got a bill.
Yep.
And how much was that bill for?
$1,059.
For a 1 month period?
2 months period.
2 months. And you say I didn't do it.
I didn't do it, Your Honor.
Is the phone in your room?
Yes, it is.
You think she did it?
I doubt
Look at this lady. Look, I just want you to look at her. You think she went into your room and made the calls?
I doubt it.
Somebody's got to pay the bill.
That's right.
Now, you want to try to explain to me in 100 words or less why it shouldn't be you?
In 100 words or less, I don't know if I can do it in 100 words or less, but I believe that the other tenant that was living there made those phone calls.
So?
So, and there's a reason behind why I think he made those phone calls.
I'll hear you.
Okay, well, the former tenant and her had a limousine business. She put up $27,000 for a limousine. Somehow I was drawn into the middle of that. Their business relationship didn't work out from the get-go. They were screaming and yelling every night there. And because I didn't take his side in the limousine business, he started to have an attitude against me. Eventually, I had to throw him in jail for assault on me at the lady's house. The following day, her and I went down and put restraining orders on him. At that point, I believe he went in my room. He wanted me out of that house no matter what. No matter what the cost, so he could work on her by himself. I believe that he went into my room and made a bunch of phone calls, information phone calls. I'm not sure what exactly they were. Psychic, maybe. I don't know what kind of phone calls they were.
Psychic hotline calls? Is that what they were?
900 sex calls.
Sex calls.
Sex calls. Okay.
Okay. So that's your defense. You know what we used to call that when I was sitting judge in Manhattan? Somebody once told me that that's called the Soddy principle, S-O-D-D-I. Some other dude
done it.
Did it. Did you ever hear that?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Rankin, let's keep this simple, sir. Somebody's got to pay this bill. The phone is in your room. If the phone had been in your room and been in your name, you would have had to have paid the phone bill. And then if you felt that somebody in an unauthorized fashion used your phone, you would go and sue them, right?
That's correct.
But you don't say to the telephone company, listen, ma belle, I didn't make the phone calls from my phone. Somebody else did it. You pay the bill, and then you pursue whatever other remedies you have. You are responsible to safeguard the phone in your room. Not her. She was doing you a favor. Why should she be out $1,059? Is there any reason?
No, there's not a reason
Good.
she should be out.
Judgment in the case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,059.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Everybody's not like Tim. There is nice people out there. I went ballistic. Yeah, I was very, very surprised, shocked, mad, angry, really, really upset.
He had stolen my daughter's clothes before. I also have sex letters where he signed up for sex calls. And I have pictures to prove what kind of person he is.
I was used and abused.
You were outraged that somebody parked in the handicap parking spot.
Exactly, Your Honor.
He called the cops, and the mother of two decided it was time to strike back. He says she keyed his car.
My kids are in the car, and it's hot, and they were starting to cry.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an attorney, Your Honor.
Mr. Gigliotti, you were going to the post office.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were driving.
Yes, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, you got to the post office and looking for a place to park, and all the parking spots were taken.
It was about 10:40 in the morning. I drove into the parking lot. I noticed there was no spaces available. I looked over the parking space for the handicapped, and there was a car there, and I noticed that it had Louisiana license plates that were not handicap provided. I also looked at the front mirror to see if there was a placard there.
So you got out of your car?
Yes, I did. And then I went back to my car and I took out a Polaroid camera, and I took a picture of the car and my car as it was seated in the parking space for the handicapped, and then I wrote down the license plate number. And I also noticed when I was around front that it had a Navy parking sticker on it. So I copied down the number of that also.
Okay. So far, what you were doing is you were outraged that somebody parked in the handicap parking spot.
Exactly, Your Honor.
Okay, so then what did you do?
Well, as I was writing down the license plate number from the car that was parked there, it was a black Plymouth, a woman came out of the post office, and she started yelling and screaming and waving her arms. She was waving her arms like this. And she said, you move that car, I'll move you.
What do you mean? I don't understand. Why did you have to move your car?
I had pulled in behind the car that was in the parking space in order to get out of the driveway, because the driveway was right next to that parking space. I pulled in behind it.
So you blocked the car?
Yes.
Now, when you looked inside the car, did you see anybody in the car?
I didn't notice anybody at that time, Your Honor.
Okay, so you had now blocked the car, and the woman came out and said, you better move the car.
Yes.
What did you do?
She was yelling and screaming, and I was absolutely certain that she was going to cause some violence. So I walked away from her and walked into the post office and called the police.
Why didn't you just get into your car and move your car?
I didn't think I had that much time. She was coming at me rather fast, rather loud.
Shh. Order.
Yeah, go ahead.
And while I was waiting in the post office, Miss Corbett, who was going to be the witness, came in and said, is that your car with the handicap placard in the parking lot? And I said, yes, it was. And she said, that woman just keyed your car. And I went out to the parking lot to see if I could see where she had keyed the car, but she was still walking up and down between the two cars, yelling and screaming and throwing her arms around. So I didn't go out there. I just waited until the police came. And when the police came, I did go out and I inspected the car, and it had been keyed, the entire driver's side.
Okay. You do have handicap plates on your car?
I do.
Why is that, sir?
Because I have a back injury that limits my ability to walk.
How long have you had that back injury?
2.5 years.
And how long have you had the handicap plates?
About 1.5 years.
Mm-hmm. Step up, please.
Yes.
Can you tell me your name?
Yes, I'm Janice Corbett.
Miss Corbett, I assume you work in the post office. You're the postal worker.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see this lady key his car?
I saw this lady do a keying motion to his car.
Describe what you saw.
I saw her talking with another woman and some children, and she had her keys in her hand. She was frustrated. Then she went to the side of his car, and her arm turned. I could not actually see the key in her hand at this moment, but her arm was turned, so I could see this part, and she walked stiff-armed alongside the car.
Okay. Ms. Kemp?
Yes.
According to your complaint, and you have a countersuit against the plaintiff for unlawful imprisonment of both you and your children, who you say were in the car.
Yes.
How many children did you have in the car?
3.
How old are they?
At the time, the twins were 4 months old, and Nicholas was 5 years old.
Okay. What were you doing at the post office?
I went to the post office that morning to mail a few letters and to purchase stamps. I did pull in to a handicapped spot. Yes, I know that was wrong, but thinking that I would be in there 2 to 3 minutes, I knew I would be right back out. I just didn't think there would be a problem. So, and I was in a hurry because I went there before I brought Nicholas to school. So we went into the post office, my kids and I did what I had to do. I stopped at the front counter to make out some things on the...
How are you holding the twins?
They were in a stroller.
So you actually took them out of the car and put the twins in the stroller?
Yes.
And Nicholas was with you?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we went into the post office. Like I said, on the way out, I stopped at the desk to put the stamps on and all, so I did that. We went back to the car. He said I was waving my arms. I didn't even recognize him because I was in such a hurry to get Nicholas to school, but I got in the car. As I looked back to see if my pathway was clear, then I realized he was parked behind me. So that parking lot is really small, so I thought maybe he was just trying to maneuver his way out of it. He didn't move, so I just sat there and waited a second because I didn't really know what he was doing. So he didn't move. I saw him come out of his trunk with a camera. So he started to take pictures, and so I didn't think anything, and then I looked up, and there was this handicap. I said, okay, I know what he's doing, and I know what I did. So I got out, and I was not enraged because I knew I was wrong. I became upset when he said he was not going to move. So I waited until he was done with it because I thought that would be the end of it. He's taking pictures. This is his evidence. They'll give me a ticket. That was not the end of it. So he went into the front part of his car to do what I don't know. So that's when I took a step to the back of my car, and I asked him, would he then move? He said there was no way in hell he was going to move, and he was the person that was yelling. I was not yet upset because I wasn't quite sure what his intentions were yet.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
When she came out, she was so violent that I was absolutely certain it was going to get into fisticuffs.
I don't believe you, sir. I don't believe you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jerome Gigliotti says Monica Kemp slashed his tires and keyed his car in the post office parking lot. Monica says Jerome blocked her car so she couldn't pull out, leaving her and her children trapped.
You knew you had done something wrong.
Right.
But you knew that what he was doing, that he was gathering evidence so that he could present it to give you a ticket.
After a while.
Okay.
And he told me there was no way in hell he was going to move. I then started to tell him that, you know, I had to get Nicholas to school. I informed him that I did not have any more formula for my kids because I didn't bring any because I was intending a quick trip to the post office and to school.
I assume you were pretty hot at this point, Ms. Kemp. I assume you were.
I was not angry yet because I thought once I told him that, he would move. And I offered him other information of mine. I told him he could have my driver's license number. I did notice when he came to the front of the car, he was copying down my military information. I asked him, didn't he have enough information? He was ignoring me. When I offered more information, he ignored me. And at this point, when he started to walk off, I was like, I don't believe this. You are going to let us out, aren't you? And he just walked off. And so there was another woman who came up, and she just started to ask me what was the problem and are you okay, because by this point I had become extremely emotional because it's like, okay, this man is not going to move and my kids are in the car and it's hot and they were starting to cry and I was just really upset. I was scared. So she tried to calm me down. She went in the post office and she asked him to move. And
did somebody else come into the post office and ask you to move, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why didn't you?
I told her I wasn't going to go out there so long as that other woman, Miss Kemp, was out there.
All they wanted you to do was move the car.
You did not see the condition that she was. She was yelling and screaming, waving her arms, and there was no way I was going to get into a fight with her.
What was I going to do, throw a baby at you?
Just a second.
I had a baby in my arm.
You know that all she wanted you to do was to move your car. She wasn't going to get into a fight with you because if she got into a fight with you, she couldn't get her kids in her car out. Come on, sir. Let's be honest with each other. You were very angry that someone had parked in the handicapped spot that was really reserved for you. Now, I can understand that. I can really understand that. There's nothing to suggest that you did anything wrong in taking down the license plate number, copying down the Navy information, taking a photograph of her parking in that spot. I'm telling you now, I do have a problem with you blocking her car, especially when you knew that there were children with her, twins, under 6 months old, and her son. I do. I mean, you came into court today not in a wheelchair, sir. You didn't come in a wheelchair and you didn't come in a stretcher. So I don't know how come it is that you got a handicapped parking placard. I have difficulty walking too sometimes. Nobody's going to give me a handicapped parking placard. Right? Even Byrd here sometimes gets tired, right, Byrd? So, can't get a holier-than-thou approach to life, sir, and look at everything reasonably. I mean, this is a situation that was a fast-paced situation, but try to have a little understanding. She was prepared to get a ticket. You could have seen to it that she got a ticket, but you went a little overboard. Now, that doesn't excuse the fact that you keyed his car.
I did not key his car.
Somebody keyed his car. Let me see the pictures of your car. Come on, Miss Kemp. So far, you've been very honest with me. So far, I believe you've been very honest with me.
I have been.
That's right. Let's see, Roxas. And aside from the scratch marks on your car, you also had a blown tire, is that right?
No, Your Honor, it wasn't blown, it was slashed. I have a cast of the tire here that shows it's a very neat cut. And when I took it into the tire repair place, they said they couldn't patch it and that it had gone about ½ an inch into the tire. And it's a very narrow cut, so you can see there was a cut and it wasn't road damage.
If it was cut, you must have cut it, because I didn't.
Let me take a look at that, please. Well, it's kind of hard to slash a tire with a key.
May I say something?
Sure.
I would like to know if his tire was slashed, how did he back out to let me out? How did he get out?
I just said to you, I don't think he can establish through any witness that he has today that you did anything to the tire of his car. That's not what this witness said. Miss Kemp, look at me, dear.
I'm looking.
Keying his car. Say, Miss Kemp, I'm not suggesting to you that the situation didn't enrage you. You had a right to be enraged.
I know.
I believe you had a right to be enraged. What you did was a violation. Sir, what she was engaged in was a violation. I find it disingenuous on your part to suggest that you feared for your life, and when you called the police, you said that a woman had just assaulted you, because that's what you wrote in your complaint. This woman never assaulted you. If she came out swinging her arms and being very agitated because her car was blocked, that is not an assault.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an attorney, Your Honor.
You must have a very slow practice.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jerome Gigliotti says Monica Kemp did damage to his car at the post office. Monica denies she did anything wrong and says Jerome overreacted by blocking her car for 2 hours.
Let me explain something to you, sir.
You need help.
What you found was a violation. No different from finding somebody parked in front of a fire hydrant. Same kind of violation. The action that you took was not in direct proportion to the violation that you observed. Once, sir, you observed this lady and her children. She had 3 little kids. Wisdom would have been the better part of your action, and if you would have said, I now have the proof to take to the police, this is her car, this is this, she is going to get a ticket for parking in a handicapped spot, which was clearly wrong, you and I would have had no problem. And if she vandalized your car, which I believe that you did, Ms. Kemp.
I see that, but I didn't.
Yes, you did. Your action was not responsive to what you saw, sir. You did not exercise good, mature judgment. Good, mature judgment would have meant once you saw what she had in the car, which were 3 small children, you pulled the car out, let her leave, report it to the police, go to the Army barracks, do whatever you wanted to do in order to see to it that she had to pay an appropriate fine. It would have aggravated her enough to have paid a fine. What you chose to do was to create and incite a situation by blocking her car. That was dumb, stupid, and I guarantee you, if she had been 6'4" and a man walking out of that post office, you would not have blocked the car. No question in my mind, you would not have blocked that car. So,
Your Honor,
I have
pulled
a
in,
loss.
I didn't intend to block her car.
Well, you
I
did.
intended to take down the information.
You
When she
did.
came out, She was so violent that I was absolutely certain it was going to get into fisticuffs.
I don't believe you, sir. I
She's
don't
got
believe
30
you.
years and 30 pounds on me.
I don't believe you, sir.
30
All you had
years,
to do,
you wish.
all you had to do was
Look
get
like my
in your
great-grandfather.
car. You had already taken the pictures. Get in your car and leave. And she, with her 3 small children, was not going to assault you. And you will never convince me otherwise, sir. Never. So, you have a lawsuit, and you are suing her for $5,000 for illegally parking in a handicapped space.
Your Honor, I later found out that she lives 1 block from the post office.
And?
Just a second.
She
My
could have
son-
walked home if she wanted to. It's 1 block away.
And you
Sir,
could
Shay,
have moved.
please don't respond to him.
You're right, I shouldn't.
Shh, please don't respond to him. First of all, how did you find out she lives a block away from the post office?
I took the license plate down and I used the DMV in New Orleans, in Louisiana and Baton Rouge to find the registered owner. And then through the Postal Service, I obtained a forwarding address from that address to the address in San Diego.
Do you work?
Yes?
You wouldn't
What kind of
think
shop?
so.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an attorney, Your Honor.
You must have a very slow practice.
Yes. That's what I think.
Because if you took the time over this nonsense
Yes.
that you have just told me about,
Yes.
you'd be far better to donate some of your time and some of your energy, sir, to the poor. I was sympathetic to you up to a point. There isn't a soul who drives a car that isn't infuriated when they are driving around and around and around and looking for a parking space and see somebody who has abused their parking privilege and parked in a handicapped spot. Not a soul who's driven a car who hasn't had that kind of frustration. You took it a step too far, and she has a cross complaint against you for $5,000 for unlawful imprisonment for a period of well over 20 minutes. Is that what it was?
No.
How long?
It was like 3 hours.
Until, from the time he blocked your car until the time the police came, how much time elapsed?
From the time he blocked me until the time the first set of police arrived?
How many sets of police arrived?
They had to call someone else to make him move because he, and that's on my cross complaint also, about the intentional infliction of emotional distress. This is when my son became emotional because he would still not move. They had to call someone else to make him move.
Why wouldn't you move when the
He
first set
wanted
of
me arrested.
Why wouldn't you move when the first set of police came?
The first set of police never asked me to move my car.
I heard him.
Well, you were no longer in fear.
That's true.
Just a second. You were no longer in fear, sir, because you now had police officers around. Why didn't you just move your car?
Because they didn't tell me to. All they wanted to do was talk to me.
He's lying.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
I believe you keyed his car. Right? Let him fix it. I believe that your children suffered during that period of time. And I assume you'll never park in a
I
parking
haven't even
space
been
again.
back to that place.
Never. Your complaint is dismissed, and your countersuit is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
She started coming at me with the obvious intent to hit me. She was swinging her arms, and what she said was, "You move your car or I'll move you." And I'm sure that she had the intent of moving me physically.
And with my children in stroller in hand, I would like to propose to you, how would I have done that? Did I just let them roll when I came at you like this? Did I do that?
She didn't have any children with her when she was coming at me.
Okay, that's a lie also. And when I found out he was a lawyer, I knew he absolutely had no business. He had no clients, because if he had, he'd have been there helping them. He's bored. But my keys were inside the ignition, because when he wouldn't move, I turned the car on to give my kids some air. So I couldn't have keyed his car because I had no keys in my hand. I just wanted her to let him know that he's wrong. So the fact that I lost matters not. I'm just glad he lost.
You put your ring on your credit card.
Exactly.
First mistake.
Exactly.
They got engaged when he was broke, so the bride-to-be footed the bill for the ring. Now they've split.
My agreement was that I was going to pay for the ring that I was going to get her, not something that she didn't approve or like.
Your former fiancé, Andy Villapando, for the money she put toward her engagement ring because he cheated on her. Andy says since Nadine bought her own ring, he's not responsible.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 288 on the calendar in the matter of Munoz versus Villa Pondo. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Well, this is a new twist on an engagement ring case. Miss Munoz, according to your complaint, you went shopping with this gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
You were becoming engaged, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
According to you, you picked out a ring that you liked.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have any money or any credit.
None whatsoever.
So you put your ring on your credit card.
Exactly.
First mistake.
Exactly. Exactly.
In addition to that, you say he charged some tires on a credit card, 4 tires on a credit card of yours without your permission. To make a long story short, you're here, so that means you're no longer engaged.
Exactly. We are no longer engaged. We're no longer in speaking terms whatsoever.
And so tell me what you want from him.
I want him to pay half of the engagement ring that he gave me, that we both went together to go get. I have the appraisal. I also have the appraisal on the ring.
I'm not interested in the appraisal.
Okay.
I'm interested in the bill of sale.
Okay.
Where is it?
I have the bill of sale.
Can I have it, please? Okay. 26/27/94.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how long did this love affair last after the ring was bought?
Not long.
How long?
Till May 31st.
Well, when was the ring purchased?
February 23rd.
So.
But I had no. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I didn't walk out of the relationship. He did. He walked out.
I assume you weren't getting along?
It wasn't going anywhere, and so, but I tried to work it out. He didn't want to, so therefore he walked out.
Well, that's probably a good idea, right?
Yes, but he left me with the bill, and I thought that because of his promise that he made that he was going to pay for part of the ring, I expected that in return.
Now I'm going to ask you this question. Why didn't you take the ring back to the jeweler?
I did. They would not give me my money back. They asked for credit, and I said, okay, fine. I then called Mr. Villalpando and asked him, look, I don't want you to be without anything, and I don't want to be without anything. Therefore, you get $1,500 worth of the ring, and I'll get $1,500 worth. And I did call him on that, because I no longer want the ring. I told Mr. Villalpando
So why
that I
didn't you
want
sell it?
I tried. You know how hard it is to sell a ring? I've tried for the months that went by. I've tried to sell that ring, and I can't.
Okay. Now, sir, you acknowledge, let's get rid of the tire question.
Okay.
Okay? Because I don't think that you deny that you signed her name and that you bought the tires, correct?
On the credit card for the tires, correct.
All right. And the tires were $330?
Correct.
Did you pay her back?
I paid her $315, so I owe her $15.
No,
Let me see.
My first payment was made cash, and I got 2 check duplicates. If you need to subpoena my bank records.
I don't subpoena anything, sir.
Okay.
I'm not your lawyer. I'm the judge.
Your Honor, on those checks that he gave me, that was part of the rent and the electric bills that he left me stuck with because he did not pay for anything. Everything is under my name in that apartment because Mr. Villalpando, again, has no credit whatsoever. He claimed bankruptcy in the beginning of January.
Did you leave her with any bills when you
No,
left?
ma'am. I used to bring my checks, and she's the one that took care of the finances.
That's not true. That's not true. We did both of our finances together. We did both of them together. He couldn't write the check on the apartment because of the fact that it was not leased under his name.
Okay. Now, sir, do you have any payments that you made to her in June of '97?
The only payments I made to her, ma'am, are those 2 and the one cash payment I made before those 2.
All right, so now I understand this. Would you give this back?
Sure.
Tires. You owe her $330. Now, let's get to the ring. Tell me about the ring, because your story was an interesting one, sir.
Well, on the ring, we had an agreement, yes,
Look at
that
me.
she was going to allow me to charge a ring so I can get her because of my credit pass from a divorce that pretty much ruined my credit. Anyways, I went out and I found a ring that I wanted to get her, and I took her to the store, and she pretty much made me feel about this little because the ring wasn't nice enough, big enough, and gaudy enough. And she specifically told me it had to be bigger than my ex-wife's. And I believe the ring was almost 2 carats as it was, and my ex-wife was only like 1 carat.
Your Honor.
So,
Sir, listen to me.
yes, ma'am.
Very nice ring. It's not 2 carats.
Correct.
This is not 2 carats.
Correct.
Okay. So, go ahead. So
And
you took her to the store, and you found a ring that you liked.
I found a ring. As a matter of fact, they were even having a big sale, so it was like a real good deal, everything. And she did not want it. It wasn't what she wanted and stuff like that. And to me, I felt like, you know, I'm buying it as a gift. You should appreciate what I'm getting you. And that's
So
how
what
it was.
happened? So you're at the store, and
So
she
we're at
doesn't like
store.
the ring.
She didn't like it, and so we didn't get a ring that day. And she decided she wanted to get a ring that she would like.
But you went with her again to find a ring that she liked.
Correct.
Okay.
And when she finally discovered the ring that she wanted, she asked me what I thought of it, and I told her it's up to her. And that's where it went, and she bought it and signed for it.
But you also promised that you were going to pay for half of it, or actually pay for the gift because it was a gift coming from you, considering the fact that you wanted to get engaged, Andy. You did.
My agreement, I'm sorry.
Your agreement was what?
My agreement was that I was going to pay for the ring that I was going to get her, not something that she didn't approve of or like and wanted.
No, that doesn't make sense, my friend. That doesn't make sense, my friend. Now it makes sense to you. Now it's a good story. Now I can understand that you went and found a ring, a little too small, not exactly what she wanted. She said she'd like something else. You went shopping with her again because I assume at that point you were still in love and you were planning on getting married, and at that point I assume you wanted her to be happy with the ring. That's why you went with her again. Doesn't look like anybody drags you any place where you don't want to go. And I assume that if the relationship had progressed and you married, that you would have made payments on this engagement ring that you gave her.
It probably would have came out of a joint checking account, yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I can't pay a $3,000 ring on my income, and I know he probably couldn't do it either, but it was something that he promised to pay, and it was a gift from him.
And later today,
I lost my best friend. I stole 2 rings from her, knowing what I was doing, and I took him to a drug dealer to pay off the debt.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 27-year-old Nadine Munoz claims her former fiancé, 27-year-old Andy Villapando, cheated on her. So she's suing to recover the money she put toward her own engagement ring.
So what you have is a very interesting scenario, Miss Munoz. The ring should go back to him because it is an engagement ring.
Okay, I don't mind him having the ring as long as he pays the account.
Now, when you made this deal with him, was he supposed to pay for the whole ring?
He was supposed to, he made a verbal promise that he was going to pay for the whole ring. But when I brought him to court, I was being very noble by paying half.
Okay. Well, this was an engagement ring. Women don't pay for their own engagement rings unless they're crazy. She doesn't sound to me like she's crazy. And my sense is that at least at the time that she purchased this ring on her credit, it was something that you intended to pay for because it was an engagement ring. That's what happens. A man buys a woman an engagement ring. The fact that she didn't like the first ring, sir, that's not an excuse. That's just a good story that you made up, that you were willing to pay for the first one but not the second one, because that's pretty much what you're telling me. And if you weren't willing to pay for the second one, then you wouldn't have and shouldn't have gone shopping with her for a second one. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, this whole ring was $2,627.94. And, sir, I don't think you paid her for the tires at all. So, Mr. Munoz, you just bought yourself a beautiful engagement ring and 4 new tires for the total price of $2,957.94. Judgment for the plaintiff in that amount. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out. I'll be back to you right.
I wanted friendship afterwards, and I stated it strongly with him that I wanted friendship, but I didn't want to be lied to like he lied to me.
I'm sorry this all happened.
No problem.
And now the next case.
Parties on Golda versus Greer. Step forward, please.
37-year-old Laura Golder is suing her best friend of 15 years, 31-year-old Liza Greer, claiming she stole 2 rings to pay off a drug dealer.
Ms. Greer, I'm going to start with you. Because quite frankly, I don't think that the facts in this case are really in dispute. You two ladies were friends for a very long time.
15 years.
And Ms. Greer, you acknowledged that there was a period of time when you had a severe drug problem, correct?
Yes, and alcohol.
And you were indebted to a drug dealer for some money.
Correct.
How much money did you owe him?
Well, at the time I owed him about $375, give or take a few.
And you were pretty strung out.
Yes.
She was your dear friend.
Yes.
So you stole 2 rings from her.
Yes, I did.
And you gave one of the rings to the dealer.
Actually, I gave both of the rings to the dealer for collateral, and I was hoping to get him money because he was threatening my life, and he was a very dangerous man, and I was very frightened. And I was sober at the time, but that evening I relapsed from the stress, and I drank. And when I went over to my girlfriend's house where she was, we were together and consoling me, that evening I did something completely out of the ordinary, something I'm very upset about, I'm very remorseful for. I lost my best friend. I stole 2 rings from her, knowing what I was doing, and I took them to a drug dealer to pay off the debt. And when I tried to get them back, he wouldn't give them to me. And the next day I turned myself into the police, and I told them what happened and what I did.
When did you find the rings missing?
The morning that she left my apartment.
How'd you feel?
Extremely upset.
Did you try to contact her?
I contacted her mother and her sister and told them what happened, and they said call the police.
You got one of the rings back?
Yes.
The other one you did not?
Yes, correct.
What did he do, sell it or dispose of it in some way?
We don't know. He's saying he's innocent, and we can't talk to him. I can't get the rings back, but I want to pay her back. I just said I don't have a lot.
How did you get the one ring back?
That's kind of on her part, and I'm not talking to her right now, so you need to ask.
The police have it as evidence.
But they're holding it, so that one you have. The only dispute in this case is to the value of the ring. How much did you pay for the ring?
$7,000. I have the receipts and all the appraisal and everything right here.
I'm not interested in the appraisal, just the receipt, how much you paid for it. You bought this ring at a very upscale store. And there were 2 pieces of fine jewelry that you bought. One was for $7,000, one is for $2,500. What were the 2 pieces that you bought?
The $7,000 was the ring, and the $2,500 was the earrings to go with it.
And you have the earrings?
Yes.
Just a lot of money to spend on a ring, but...
Did you notice it was a charge card? I like to live over my means. I like to have what I like.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It was either taking your jewelry or going out and mugging somebody or getting killed herself. Because, drug dealers are despicable pun scum.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Liza Greer admits to stealing 2 rings, but says they are worth thousands less than Laura Golder claims.
Miss Greer, I'm going to let you tell me in your own words what your defense is to this lawsuit.
Okay. Okay, I'm not saying that I don't owe her the money because I took the rings. I'm taking responsibility for it. I've done everything I can and my possible means of helping her get the ring back and going to court, turning myself in. I just feel that the designer for the ring is what I'd be paying for and not the value of the diamonds and the gold. I just feel it would be, it's just ridiculous to pay for a designer. It's not ridiculous, but it's just, $7,000 for a designer when the actual ring is only worth
Liza,
$3,000.
that's what I paid for the ring, though.
Shh. Let me tell you this. What you're suggesting is as follows. If somebody steals a Renoir, you know what that is?
Yes.
And says, well, I'm prepared to pay for the canvas and for the paint that was used, but I'm not prepared to pay $5 million for this painting. I mean, because after all this painting is a canvas and some paint. I don't have to pay for the designer Renoir after all. She went to a store that is a high-end store. I'm not even going to mention the store.
Shall I?
No. But I want to tell you something. Anybody that buys a piece of jewelry in this high-end store, what I'm telling you is you're entitled to do with your money whatever you want to do with it. But I saw a picture of the ring. It's a nice little ring. So is all
Really
of it put
nice
together
ring.
worth $7,000? Who knows? But that's what she paid for it. And you stole it. And she doesn't have it back. And she's entitled to be made whole. Because whatever it is, she's out $7,000 and she doesn't have her ring because of you.
I know.
So, I mean, the limit of my jurisdiction is $5,000. She understood that when she came to this court, right?
Yes.
You've been in treatment?
Yes, I've been sober ever since.
How long?
It's 2.5 months now.
It's not a long time.
No, but it's still longer than I had 2.5 months ago.
I know.
And I'm also on Prozac, and I've been with a psychiatrist, and it was a very sobering experience. And I'm pregnant, so it's devastating to me what I've done. And I've lost my best friend.
Doesn't sound as if this was a great year for you. Next year will be better.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Miss Golder.
Yes.
She hasn't had a good time. She brought it about by herself. She knows that. I have a feeling that she understands that. You've been a friend for a long time. I'm going to give you your $5,000. I absolutely believe that you are entitled to that. I think Miss Greer believes that you're entitled to that, too. She feels terrible. I am quite sure that when you woke up in the morning and found your jewelry missing and realized who took your jewelry, you felt devastated.
That she would do something like that to me.
Right. She was really, at that point, I honestly believe, pushed to the wall, and she didn't know what to do. It was either taking your jewelry or going out and mugging somebody or getting killed herself, because, you know, drug dealers can be, not can be, are despicable pun scum. And they can be deadly despicable pun scum. So she was afraid. That doesn't excuse her. But if she's sober, and I believe that she is because she's been very honest with me otherwise, she probably could use all the support she can get. Well, Miss Greer, you have a responsibility now that is far beyond a responsibility to yourself.
I know.
And if you ever think of relapsing, I suggest that you take yourself a visit to a
Rehab.
local hospital.
Right.
And go into the neonatal intensive care unit and see what a baby looks like when they're born with heroin or cocaine withdrawal.
Right.
I guarantee you that that will be a more sobering experience than the one you had here. Got it?
I bet.
All right. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff
Thank
in the
you.
amount of $5,000.
I'm sorry,
Thank
Laura.
Parties are excused. You can step out. I'll be back to you, right?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I could go to jail. You know, I mean, right now, you know, I could go to jail. You know, I just don't, I never thought I was that kind of a person. The one thing that I think that Judge Judy gave me back was my friend. You know, I mean, because you know, she wasn't even speaking to me before. You know, to me, the value of her friendship is worth more than the money itself. And I did something wrong, and you know, this is a lesson that had to be learned.
I always forgive her. I always forgive her. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Laura.
I know, honey.
Thank you very much for your time. Best of luck.
Thank you, Judge Judy.
How often during the week did his children come over to take care of him?
None.
Only
not
one,
true.
only one time.
No, that's not
Only
true.
Just as Miss Davenport.
The daughter says her dad's girlfriend took the money after he died, and she wants it.
She took care of your father. You ought to lean up.
Davenport says when her father passed away, his common-law wife, Cleta Agatep, began withdrawing money from his checking account. Gina claims the money was part of her inheritance.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 315 on the calendar in the matter of Davenport versus Agatep. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Davenport, the defendant in this case was the companion of your father, who died recently.
Right.
And he died recently without a will.
Right.
Your complaint is that the defendant took money out of a checking account that was your father's.
Correct.
And that money rightfully belongs to his heirs, it's, in this case you, and whatever siblings you have, because if you die without a will, under the laws of this jurisdiction, your children inherit. That's your position.
Correct.
And it's your position that her father, with whom you lived for how long?
8 years.
Wanted you to have that money. You consider yourself his common-law wife.
Well, right, yeah, in a way, yes.
Before I get to the actual dollars in this case, which really aren't a lot, according to what I see here, you say that there was about $6,000.
A little over that when my father passed away.
When he died, and that there was some $3,000 left in the account that you did in fact take.
My sister wouldn't close the account out because she lived by the bank, right?
So that at this point, according to your complaint, at most, the defendant owes you $3,000.
Right.
Correct?
I don't owe her anything.
Just a second. I understand
Sorry.
your position, and your position was that there was more money in that account and that Ernest wanted you to have that money.
Yes, he did.
Okay. My primary concern, Miss Davenport, quite frankly, is with you, after reading your complaint. Because neither the complaint nor the answer told me how long the defendant lived with your father. But it was a long time.
Yes.
Your father died of cancer.
Yes, he did.
How long was he ill?
Probably really ill for the last 6 months. He wasn't, fortunately, it went fairly fast for him,
No, he was ill for 9 months.
Well,
and the last month was really tough
Nobody
on
ever
him.
disputed that.
Miss Davenport, you just said to her, nobody ever disputed that.
She did take care of my father.
I, quite frankly, am at a loss, then, why you're here and why you've pursued this lawsuit.
Because if she had asked for the money or something, it would have been, we probably would have given it to her. My father left her a $10,000 life insurance policy. He left her a paid-for house, and my father told me not too long before he died that between the money in his checking account, his stocks, and his profit-sharing stuff was all supposed to be split up between his children, and he asked me to make sure that it got done and that there was no arguing about it, and now I'm in court.
So your father had some stocks. How much money in stocks did he have?
He had 506 shares of stock worth probably $32 to $34
He
a
wanted me
share.
Which, worth what?
Between $32 and $34 a share.
What were his total assets?
40,000 maybe.
$40,000. And how many siblings are there?
5.
Okay. During the last 6 to 9 months, when your companion was ill and you were caring for him, how many times then, not counting Ms. Davenport, did the other 4 children come down and say to you, you're taking care of him, I know he's very sick, we'd like to help you out for a day to give you a chance to get out, we'll take care of him for a weekend? How many times did the other 4 do that?
None.
All right, I believe that.
None.
I believe that. Now, Ms. Davenport, you tell me, how many times did you go there and care for him for more than a day?
For more than a day?
More than a day.
More than a day, I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
I lived a long ways away and I have a small child at home. I went down there probably, I think, 4 times in 6 months before he passed away.
Then, Ms. Davenport, let me tell you this. This is not going to be a very long case. As far as I'm concerned, you ought to lean over and kiss both of her hands and her feet. Because she took care of your father. She showered him. She made sure he got to the bathroom. She washed him.
Yes, she did.
Quiet. She fed him. She made sure that he was taken care of, something that if she wasn't around, either his children would have had to do, and had to do something about taking care of your children and your small children and your brothers and sisters, their jobs and everything else, or you would have had to have put him in some sort of an institution, which would have cost money, probably more than your $40,000 that you got, or you would have had to have paid somebody substantially more than $3,000 over 6 months to take care of him. Now, something that you said really irritates me. And what you said to me was, if she would have asked us, we would have given it to her. She didn't have to be asked to take care of your father. She took care of your father. She didn't have to be asked to take him to the bathroom.
Can I say something yet?
Just a second. She took him there. So, and we're not talking about your entire inheritance of $40,000. What your complaint is, Miss Davenport, is that for a period of immediately before and immediately after his death, she went to the bank and withdrew at $300 increments half, you say half, of what was in that account, which was $3,000. So I, quite frankly, don't understand you at all. You couldn't get a nurse for $3,000 a month to take care of a critically ill cancer patient at home. So now that I've said my piece, you can say yours.
Thank you. For one, if anybody had asked, my father told me didn't want anybody down there trying to take care of him. If anybody had asked, I would have come down there. Like I said, if she had no right to go in there. If he had wanted her to have that money, why didn't she just go in there and take it all out of the bank at once? Why did she have to go in there?
She could have.
10 days in a row and take it out of an ATM machine instead of going into the bank and getting the money out? If that money was meant for her. That money was not meant for her.
What I'm telling you is you're not following what I'm saying to you. Unfortunately, when parents either get old or, unfortunately, if they become seriously ill, usually, if there is no spouse, children bear the burden of taking care of their parents.
That's right.
And they have to turn their lives upside down, usually, in order to do that. That means that if you have a young child, and if you want to take care of your responsibility to your father, that means that you find a babysitter for your child, you move into his home, you care for him. You didn't have to do that. And your 4 brothers and sisters, well, what are we going to do? Just leave him there to languish? Who was going to feed him?
He was only bedridden like that at the very end.
What's the very end? A month?
For a month, yes, probably.
Well, let's say a month, madam. Who was going to take care of him for a month?
If he would have let me, I would have, but he wouldn't let me.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You yourself in your complaint says he was a very difficult man.
Yes, he was.
Very difficult, hard to get along with.
And later today,
according to your papers, your wife was leading you on and then tossing you out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
And then you were really mad.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gina Davenport is suing her deceased father's common-law wife, Cleta Agatep, because she took money out of his checking account. Cleta claims the money was rightfully hers.
You took money out of this ATM.
Yes, I did.
How much money did you take out?
I don't, about $1,500.
Now, you have a counterclaim here, which I assume that you filed after they filed their suit.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Now, you understand that because you were not legally married to him, under the laws of the state, because he died without a will, legally, you're not entitled to his money. You understand that?
Okay.
But he did provide for you in other ways. He left a life insurance policy for you?
$10,000.
Okay. So the only thing she says she took out of that joint account was $1,500, and there is at least $3,000 left, which you did in fact take. So I don't think that she stole anything, because in my judgment, she had access to that account clearly through your father, who gave her both his ATM card and his PIN number, which means he gave her total access to that money. More important, there's a moral issue here, Miss Davenport, that I, quite frankly, am at a loss for. You seem like an intelligent woman. And an intelligent woman who was able to sleep in her own bed at night with her child next to her and not have to nurse a terminally ill cancer patient who was her father for either a month or 6 months or 9 months shouldn't be standing in a court trying to recoup from his longtime companion who lovingly cared for him until the end $3,000 or $1,500. You should say, I'm really grateful that somebody who cared for my father, because you yourself in your complaint says he was a very difficult man.
Yes, he was.
Very difficult, hard to get along with. So here you have somebody who took care of you, a very difficult, hard to get along with, terminally ill father, and you're here over pennies. Well, I'm here to tell you, your case is dismissed. I'm also here to tell you that you're not entitled to any more than what you got. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
And now the next case.
Parties on Thomas versus Simonetta. Step forward, please.
25-year-old mechanic Christopher Thomas is suing 34-year-old Stephen Simonetta for assault. Christopher claims the fight started because he is romantically involved with Stephen's estranged wife.
Mr. Thomas, you are living with the defendant's soon-to-be ex-wife.
Yes, Your Honor.
How long was he separated from his wife?
I think it was a couple of months.
And do you know how long they were married?
9 years.
You have children?
Yes, 2.
And they live with your wife?
With her, yeah.
And she was living with him?
Yes.
Okay. Where did this assault take place, sir?
In our home.
You were living with his wife and their 2 children in her home?
Yes.
That she used to share with him?
They never shared it.
They never lived there together?
I think maybe a total of 1 week.
So the assault took place in the home. Tell me about it.
I got off work and I went in the bedroom to take off my work clothes and change. And I heard the defendant walk in and...
Is your girlfriend?
Yes.
His wife?
Yes. And he started arguing with my witness, Christy. And then he comes storming in the bedroom and shut the door behind him and threatened me and told me that I had to leave out of the house and asked me if I was going to move out. Then stormed in, got him outside, and they were leaving. And then he came running back in the house and he goes, hit me. And I said...
He said to you, hit me?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I didn't answer him, and the next thing I know, Christy's helping me up off the floor.
Now, Mr. Simonetta?
Simonetta.
Mr. Simonetta, you, sir, don't deny that you hit him.
No, I don't. In self-defense, I didn't just run in the house and start hitting on him, no.
According to your papers, your wife was leading you on and then tossing you out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
And according to you, in your answer, when this gentleman went off to jail for a period of time, and your wife is a little bit lonely because he's not around. Is that what happened, Mr. Simonetta?
Yes.
So she gives you a call one night. I mean, that's not all in here. I'm just sort of putting it together. So she gives you a call and says, I miss you, honey, come home.
Well, we were trying to get resolved, being he was out, and we could get established our relationship back together, being there was nobody around to interfere with it. And
That's what was in your head.
Yes.
But clearly it was not in your wife's head.
No.
Right?
Right.
She just didn't like to be alone for that couple of months.
Apparently, yeah, yes.
Because as soon as he came out of jail...
The day before I got a restraining order and kicked right back out.
Right. And then you were really mad. Mr. Simonetta, just look at me.
Yes,
sir.
I was mad.
You were really, really mad. Now, I don't tell you you didn't have a right to be mad.
Yeah.
You just got mad at the wrong person. You understand that? It's easier to blame him, maybe. The truth of the matter is, he probably didn't like the idea that she was playing both guys any more than you did. He didn't know.
He didn't know.
So if he didn't know, then he couldn't have been playing it. It was all
He didn't know until later on into the relationship when I ended up just discussing this and confronting him with it.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You're not following me, sir. What are you, thick?
Yes, you're right. I was sleeping in the house. The kids were waking up to me, yes.
And sometimes they wake up and find him sleeping in the house with their mother, right?
Apparently, yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Fighting over a woman, Christopher Thomas wants medical bills and lost wages from Stephen Simonetta.
Mr. Simonetta,
I understand.
I want you to look at me now and you tell me how it happened.
The day, a week before it happened, we were going to get together and go to the house and see what happened, what was going to, go on, whether they were playing roommate or boyfriend and girlfriend or what, I didn't know. She was telling me all through this that it was a platonic boyfriend, platonic, just a roommate setup. Yeah, and I was stupid. Me fell into the whole the game, into believing it. We made a date. We was going to go up to the house, see the kids, talk about what was going to go on. He was supposed to be there. I told her on the way up there I was going to confront him, ask him if anything was going on. Was it a roommate thing or a boyfriend-girlfriend thing? I walked into the house. I went into the back room. I was with the kids for a minute. I went into the back half of the house. He was in there. I stood in the doorway. I started talking to him. She was there. Was there also.
What did you say to him when you started talking?
I said, so are you guys still got a relationship going on or what? She came up and started saying something. I walked into the room. I shut the door behind me. I said, are you sleeping with her? He said, yes. I opened the door back up. I said, are you sleeping with her? And he said, yes. She heard him say it. I said, there it is there. I turned and walked out the house. I said, it's through. I walked out the house. I got out to the curb. I thought about losing my kids. The family was dead. I didn't want to, it started eating at me. I ran back into the house. He was in the corner of the kitchen. I said, you ruined my life. He went like this, and I clocked him. He hit the ground. I turned around and walked out of the house, and that was my story. That was it.
Mr. Simonetta,
yeah.
Everything that you said to me, I'm sympathetic about. Other than the fact that you hit him. Because your kids were home.
My kids were outside when it happened.
Kids were home.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand the kind of environment these children are growing up in anyway. One night you're sleeping in the house, one night he's sleeping in the house.
No,
one night she's sleeping in the house with him, one night he's sleeping in the house.
Place.
What?
I had my own house.
But you did sleep in that house. You told me for a while.
I came back to the house when he left for 2 weeks.
I
the day
understand.
before I got,
So the kids.
I had my own apartment at that time.
You're not listening to me, Mr. Simonetta. The kids are waking up seeing, for 2 weeks, according to you, you sleeping in the house?
It was going to work out. Yes, you're right.
You're not following me, sir. What are you, thick?
Yes, you're right. I was sleeping in the house. The kids were waking up to me, yes.
And sometimes they wake up and find him sleeping in the house with their mother, right?
Apparently, yes.
And sometimes, according to you, your kids wake up and find him sleeping with her,
yes.
According to you?
Mm-hmm.
This is some atmosphere for children to grow up in.
Yes, yes.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You had no right to hit him, Mr. Simonetta. You got to pay for it. Where are your medical bills?
Your Honor.
What?
He also, at mine prior house, let's see, he came through the door looking for me, and I was not there, and he assaulted and busted up some furniture.
Who cares about that? What does that have to do with this case?
I was just letting you know that this ain't the first time that he was wanting to threaten me and hurt me.
Let me explain something to you, sir. This is some piece of work. Now, she's not here today to defend herself to any of this, right? But what I'm hearing, and I believe him because he pretty much almost admitted to me that whatever he did, he shouldn't have done. He assaulted you, and I'm going to give you money for that. I'm going to give you what you're asking for, in all probability. Well, your medical bills, about $850, and all you're asking for is $1,200. Is that right?
Yes.
You're entitled to that. He had no reason to hit him, Mr. Simonetta. And the fact that he's only suing you for $1,200 to me is very interesting, because really, you know, he was injured. You injured him, clocked him.
Yep.
He passed out.
Yeah.
Don't do it again. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,200 as requested. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
She's spineless, and she's with him, and it's a big old threesome house game that they got going on. And
what's going on with my husband and his girlfriend, Steve, that you were living with?
She's got a big old game going on.
We're entertainers.
What kind of entertainers?
We're both topless entertainers.
They posed for an annual swimsuit edition, but they didn't get paid.
If I was going to pay anybody, I'm going to hire a modeling agency. I'm not going to hire 2 strippers. I'm going to go after a modeling agency.
Are you kidding me or what?
No.
Yeah, you're a businessman. I'm not your mother. I don't intend to solve all your problems, sir, and stop chewing gum in my courtroom.
But first today,
You are either so thick or so impervious to what's right because you had no moral upbringing that I really feel sorry for you.
Anhoff says her ex-boyfriend, Joseph Jefferson, owes her money he borrowed to buy car rims.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Your Honor, it's case number 335 on the calendar in the matter of Stanoff versus Jefferson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen.
This was your boyfriend. How long had you known each other?
About 2.5 years, almost 3 now.
And you're not together anymore.
Correct.
While you were together, he used your credit card to buy rims for his car.
Correct.
And you say, sir, that it was a gift of love.
Yep. Yes.
So, Miss Stanoff, why don't you tell me about this rimming?
We were together about 2.5 years, and we ended up breaking up for about 6 to 9 months. We moved in together as roommates. He needed to purchase some rims. He then put $500 down, wrote a check to West Coast Motorsports in Garden Grove, and then proceeded to tell me that that he needed to have the other $1,300 to pay on the rims, or else he was going to lose his $500. So I went down with him. In return, he said that he would pay me back in full. He had gave me a Vaughn's credit card, or I'm sorry, credit union card. Told me that actually there was $30 taken out of his check every week that I could take out to pay the bill back.
So you broke up, he's got the rims and you got the bill. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct.
Go.
Okay. Well, we broke up. We moved back in together. We were living there for about a week, and she usually takes me out shopping, buying me stuff whenever I want when we get in fights or something. And she offered to buy me some rims for my car. She paid for them.
Why would she take you out shopping if you have a fight?
That's how she is. Whenever I got mad at her, we got in a fight, she bought me stuff. And she has a record of every time we break up, trying to take something back from me. And that's why, like, when we got back together that time, for like 3 years, she made me sign a contract saying that, it was a contract, it was made in 5/30/95, saying that the first thing on there says, whatever you bought me is mine if we break up no matter what. And she signed it and dated it, everything. So that's how she always goes to that stuff. Buys me stuff and then wants to take it back when we break up. When we went to buy the rims, I wrote the check for $500 and she paid the rest with the credit cards. There was no agreement. He was there with me when we bought it. It was us 3 there. We went there. There's no agreement that I had to pay back, nothing. The reason she got my cash card is
Just a second. Who has the car?
The card?
Car!
No, I sold it.
With the rims?
Yes.
How much after she paid for the rims did you sell the car?
I sold it for $18,500.
Well, I didn't ask you that question, but that's an interesting answer.
How much longer?
What?
How much longer? Just
What word in English didn't you understand?
You said how much the car 3 months ago.
How much after you put the rims on the car did you sell it was my question. You said $18,000, which isn't exactly
2
an
months.
answer, but I'll take it.
2 months.
Had you already broken up with her at the time?
Yeah.
So why didn't you give her back the money for the rims from the car?
Because they were a gift. That's like
what?
They were a gift. That's like I bought her rings and stuff. Am I supposed to take everything back that I bought her?
Let me explain something
not
to you,
right.
sir. There's a difference between a ring, a piece of jewelry, a watch, a shirt, a tie, a pair of rollerblades. There's a difference between that and 4 rims for your car.
There's no difference. It's material.
How old are you?
20.
Where do you live?
In Hawaiian Gardens.
Who do you live with?
My grandma.
Your grandmother?
Yes.
Where do your parents live?
I don't know. I don't talk to my parents.
You don't know, you don't talk to them?
Yes.
For how long?
For a while. All my life.
What do you mean all your life?
All my life. Like
You mean
said.
you've always lived with your grandmother?
Yes.
Is it your mother's mother or your father's mother?
Mom's.
Does she talk to her daughter?
Yes.
You ever been arrested, Mr. Jefferson?
Nah. Nope.
Where do you work?
I don't work now.
Why?
Because I quit, because I lost my license.
What license?
Driver's license.
Why?
For speeding.
How many times?
3.
And you were never arrested, sir?
No, I never arrested, no.
No. And what kind of car was this that you sold for $18,000?
97 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
How'd you buy it?
Financed it.
What kind of work were you doing when you financed it?
I worked for UPS in Vons.
And what happened to those jobs?
I had to lose them because of her.
You lost your UPS job because of her? How did she cause you to lose your UPS job?
See, that's how it started when she broke into my box and she stole my car keys and my checkbooks, all this stuff, and she stole my car from UPS one night because I worked midnight shift. I go in 3 to 9, and I came out, my car wasn't there, and then I came back and it was moved somewhere else. She stole my car, so I couldn't keep letting my car go out. She always threatened me, saying that all my friends they're gonna steal your car, take the rims off, steal your radio. And then Vons, she went in there harassing me all the time. My boss complained to me.
So she wanted the money back for the rims or the rims right from the beginning?
Nah, it's not for the money. It's for the love. She missed me. She wanted me still.
Oh, my God. God help her if that's what she wanted. How old are you?
19.
Who do you live with?
My grandmother.
Where are your parents?
My parents are in Norco. I talk to them once a week.
Where?
Norco, North Corona.
And why don't you live at home?
Because it's too far for me to commute now.
Have you ever met his parents?
I've met his mother.
When?
I've met her a few times during the 2.5 years that we were together. I've seen her probably about a year ago. I saw her.
When you saw them, was he there?
Yeah. He's the one that introduced me to her.
Does that sound familiar to you, sir?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
So it's not that you haven't spoken to your parents or your mother?
I don't talk to them.
Oh, God.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You are a 20-year-old unemployed person who takes from young women because he thinks that he's God's gift. I mean, you're not even good looking.
And later today.
We said to them we're missing a day of work. They know the money that we do make when we work.
Well, if you're topless entertainers and do stand-up comedy, then you know about contracts.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rachel Stanhoff says her ex-boyfriend, Joseph Jefferson, owes her money he borrowed to buy car rims. Joseph claims the money was a gift.
Listen up, Mr. Jefferson. You owe her for the tire rims. You're 20 years old. You could either be in your life. First of all, you got this dumb look on your face, which is really irritating. This smile, which really is irritating, because it looks to me as if you're trying to get over, and you think you're going to get over me. I'm smarter than you will be if you live to be 170 years old, right? Do you understand that? Because you are either so thick or so impervious to what's right because you had no moral upbringing that I really feel sorry for you. And maybe that accounts for this ridiculous look on your face. But what I'm telling you is, you could either be a nice person or you could be a taker and a sucker all your life, sucking off other people. And it sounds to me as if you started your young life being a sucker off other people, taking advantage of other people and thinking that you have some gift, some special gift. I tell you right now, I got 3 sons, right? And I'm looking at you and I'm saying, you are no gift to anybody.
You gave it?
You are no gift. You are a 20-year-old unemployed person who takes from young women because he thinks that he's God's gift. I mean, you're not even good looking. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,255. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
And now the next case.
Parties on Kaufman, Smith versus Rodriguez. Step forward, please.
Bikini models Jennifer Kaufman and Kim Smith are suing magazine publisher David Rodriguez because he used their photos in his magazine but never paid them.
You two ladies posed for some photographs that were in the defendant's magazine. You claim that he promised to pay you. He didn't. Is that what this case is about?
Yes, it is.
Well, who's going to speak first?
I would like to.
What's your name?
Jennifer Kaufman.
Okay.
We met Dave through some mutual friends, and we met at a local restaurant. And we had discussed, he said he was going to do some catalog work and a lot of different stuff, and we were excited for him, and we had discussed doing some pictures for him. And so...
He wanted to set up a photo shoot for the bathing suit company.
For the bathing suit company.
Yeah.
And we went, he set up the photo shoot. Well, we didn't make the first one. And at the restaurant, he said, we'll have to send a release if we like your pictures, and we'll go from there.
The photographer then called us and insisted that we come on Father's Day and do this. And they said if they decide to publish our pictures, then we will then sit down and talk about a contract and be compensated for our work. Then some girls came up to us and said, yeah, we saw your picture in the San Antonio Sports Magazine. And we were like, what? And we never signed anything. May I also add there's pictures floating around the internet.
So what you're telling me is you didn't have a contract with him?
We were supposed to, if the pictures were
if
to
they
be
liked
published,
the pictures, they didn't, yeah.
then we would sit down and talk about them.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
We're entertainers.
And
what
I do
kind of
stand-up
entertainers?
Comedy. We're both topless entertainers, and I do stand-up comedy.
Well, if you're topless entertainers and do stand-up comedy, then you know about contracts. So you're going to do these pictures, right, for some sort of compensation if the pictures were published. But you hadn't discussed the compensation with him.
If they decided to use our pictures, then that's what we were to discuss.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Did you ever hear speak when spoken to? Sit down. I'm not ready for witnesses yet.
Okay.
Good. So you hadn't had an amount of money that you agreed on, even if they used your pictures?
Well, we said to them, we're missing a day of work. They know the money that we do make when we work, and it's a very hard lesson. We did learn a lesson from this.
Good. So what are you here for?
To be compensated for.
Be compensated for the work that was done.
And
well, how much do you think you should be compensated?
$750 for each job.
And how many jobs did you do?
2.
You each did 2?
The first job we did was for a clothesline. It was runway modeling for the other photographer.
Well, don't tell me about the other photographer. You're talking about this. You're talking about this swimsuit issue, right?
Right. Yes.
So you think you should be compensated $750 a piece? That's $1,500, right? What about $500 a piece for the day? No, I'm just asking. What about $500?
May I say I have no animosity toward Dave. It has nothing to do with. It's just it's about work. It's about his job that we don't. We're not compensated for. We trusted in his word, and that's what was understood.
Well, you know, if that was the case, if she had no animosity toward me, she called my advertisers trying to say that I was a liar. I mean, I go on my word.
Never said that.
I don't have any proof to show you, but my clients call me and say, you know, we have 2 girls calling trying to get our insurance company to pay them money. And this is one of my clients, I can't say who they are, and they said, why were they calling me? I have nothing to do with your
Mr. Rodriguez,
yes.
You took pictures of them, correct?
I didn't. A
photographer did. For your magazine?
Yes.
And you make money from this magazine from selling advertising space,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
So it would seem to me that if you sold advertising space, and this is that way you make your living, then you compensate the people who work for you. So you use their pictures.
Yes.
And how did you compensate them?
Okay, this is the deal.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Not here's the deal.
Okay.
You use their pictures in a product that you made from which you make a living from selling advertising.
Yes.
And my question to you is, how did you compensate them?
I told them they would get trade, that they would get a swimsuit. The company said they would provide each girl a swimsuit.
So why would we want...
Just put your hand down.
For their services, for posting in the magazine.
Are you kidding me or what?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
And I'm not going to hire 2 strippers. I'm going to go after a modeling agency. That's what I would do if I'm going to pay anybody to model on a magazine.
First of all, stripper, it's not what you do, it's who you are.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bikini models Jennifer Kaufman and Kim Smith say magazine publisher David Rodriguez published their photos without paying them. David claims they agreed to let him use the photos for free.
Did you give him the swimsuit?
Well,
not well.
Yes, one of them has a swimsuit.
The one that they were wearing
One
that
of them,
day?
yes.
The one that they were wearing that day?
Yes.
Well, you know, you can't go out and sell those things again. I mean, you can't go out and sell them once you use it.
Exactly.
You know, once you use it, you bought it.
Exactly.
So you're telling me, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
You expect me to believe, sir, that you got all the free talent to make your magazine, and in exchange for that, they were supposed to get a bathing suit.
Yes.
I don't usually ask these questions because it's not a good idea. Lawyers should never do that. Why would you think that they would do that?
This is the reason why.
I'm waiting.
Every year, I have an annual swimsuit issue. I get tons of photographs from women who want to be in the swimsuit issue. It's one of my biggest issues of the year. I don't pay one model to be in my swimsuit issue, not one. Out of all the models that I used, I have 13 models. I have these 2 girls saying they want to get paid. 2 girls out of 13 models. Does that make any sense there?
Can I see the magazine, please?
Well, we don't know what they discussed with them, but what we discussed with him is totally different.
Well, I have
No,
witnesses.
let me tell you something. You didn't really discuss anything with him, because when you discuss something with him, then you make a price. I could just as easily say to you, listen, ladies, you didn't discuss with him what the price was for your work that day, which is what you're supposed to do. So I believe that you should be compensated. Looks to me like you had a pretty good time. $50 seems like a nice amount of money. I mean, I could say that to you. You're supposed to be smarter. I mean, if this is your business, if you're in the entertainment business, you're supposed to use your noodles.
But the fact of the matter is, too, that they contacted me. Here's the deal here. She called me wanting to be in my swimsuit issue. So I said I would meet with them. I met with them right on the table. I told, think of it, I have all these models. I mean, I have real models. I mean, I could have, if I was going to pay anybody, I'm going to hire a modeling agency. I'm not going to get...
Do real models not get paid?
Well, let me ask you
know, I'm
this.
not going to hire 2 strippers. I'm going to go after a modeling agency. That's what I would do if I'm going to pay anybody to model my magazine.
First of all, strippers not what you do, it's who you are.
Okay, well...
Let me ask you this question, sir. They took a lot of photographs of these young ladies, right? Where are the photographs that they took of these young ladies?
The photographer has them. They are his pictures.
Around the internet.
Some of them you have.
Yes.
Because you clearly went through some of them.
Sure,
and
to edit it and go through it and decide which ones were the best, yes.
Well, let us assume for the moment that there was some sort of a misunderstanding. And in addition to being compensated by getting a swimsuit, and quite frankly, ladies, I can understand why ladies who are in the entertainment field would like to have the kind of exposure that this magazine, I mean, it looks like a perfectly nice magazine. It's got a picture of nice young ladies in bathing suits and very athletic-looking young men. I mean, there's nothing untoward about these pictures. Why you might want to have your picture in this kind of magazine, right? Mm-hmm. I assume you like that idea.
Yeah, would you like?
Right?
Sure.
I assume you like that idea.
Sure.
Okay. And the money wasn't really that important to you, because if it was that important to you and if it was your business, you would have made a price with him and you would have entered into a written contract with him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't take much stock in the fact that there was some sort of a breach of contract, but Mr. Rodriguez.
Well, can I say something? Okay.
I'm not going to take any longer with this case than it's worth. It's not worth a lot, sir. I've already told them that they're not getting $3,000, they're not getting $1,500 because you didn't have a contract price, and I don't intend to make a contract now when there was none before.
But do I get anything for the models that now, since they ruined it with the swimsuit issue, they do not want to give the models that I owe swimsuits to? Now I have to, what do I do now? What do I do now?
Listen, what am I, your mother? What am I, your mother? You got a countersuit here? You have a countersuit here?
Well, I didn't, there was not time.
Time, shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know, you're a businessman. I'm not your mother. I don't intend to solve all your problems, sir, and stop chewing gum in my courtroom. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Yes.
You have some pictures of them that I think that they would probably like to have.
Yes.
Wouldn't you like to have the photographs?
Yes, we would.
That would be very nice. At least they could
Sure,
put that in their portfolio, right?
Well, since the photographer's pictures,
I'm talking about the ones,
the ones
you
I have. Yes, yes. Gladly I'd give them to him.
Perfect. By tomorrow. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
We did work and we wanted to be compensated for the work. I mean, of course we're not going to ask, I mean, bathing suits. Who would want bathing suits that worn from someone given back?
That should be just normal feminine hygiene. That should be a given that we would get the suits. And I didn't.
And he made her give the one that she had on.
Yes, I gave mine back. I don't know what they planned on doing with
who was
that.
wearing those.
That's what happens. When you know you're wrong, you walk away.
That's why
when
the
you
photographer didn't even show
When
up.
you know you're wrong, well, I'm here. You're suing me. Why didn't you see the photographer? Why didn't you see the photographer? Well, then why am I here? I'm from Texas. We sort of have this thing, handshake means a lot, our word means a lot. Obviously, they're not from Texas, so they don't know what it means.
You made a baby at a time that you had no right to make a baby.
Her parents raised her daughter for 6 years, but now she's suing them for the money that's owed back to the state.
She lived with your mother and father, who wiped her nose when she got sick. If she got an upset stomach, they took care of her. You better stop blaming other people for your life's trip. You're a lawyer.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure because I've read all of these papers. This is your father.
Yes.
Your mother?
Yes.
Ms. Bocock, according to your complaint, you are suing your father for money that you owe to the state.
Yes.
For child support.
Yes.
And that came about because several years ago, your daughter, who was quite young, was removed from your care. According to all the papers and documents that I've read, the child was removed from your care because the gentleman who you were living with hit her. She was about 18 months old. The child was placed in foster care for about a year, a little less than a year, and then went into your parents' home. Correct?
Reasonably close, yes, ma'am.
How many years was the child with you?
About 6.
And for part of that time, she was with you as a foster child.
Yes, ma'am.
Which meant that you were getting money from the state as a foster parent.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the way things work these days, even if you're a grandparent. And then you were told that you had to file for either custody or guardianship of the child, and you consented to your parents having guardianship.
I was threatened.
Threatened by whom?
I was threatened by my social worker that if I did not give my parents guardianship, I would never see my daughter again. She would go up for adoption. I would never see her again. I was not given a choice.
Doesn't make much of a difference. There's only one innocent in this case, and that innocent is this child.
True.
I mean, you made certain choices when you were living with this gentleman that you were living with because the child was ultimately removed from your care again. She was removed from your care once, and then you were told that she would be removed permanently if you let her have any contact with this man. And according to the papers that I read, you let her speak to him on the phone. She was just a little girl, and then you moved back in with him because you had some financial problems.
That's not true.
Well, according to the papers that I've read, Ms. Bocock, your little girl was assaulted by this man. She was taken to the hospital. Bruises were noted. You were told at the time that the man had to be out of the house before you could get your daughter back. Correct?
That's correct.
To make a long story short, the child was with you, and there was a period of time when you had guardianship of the child.
Yes, ma'am.
After she had lived with you for several years as a foster child, and you began receiving welfare for her.
AFDC, yes, ma'am.
To the tune of about $2,000. As the rules of the state are, parents are responsible for the support of their children. So the state pursued you for this welfare money.
Correct.
And you say that there was some sort of an arrangement with your father that he would pay this amount.
Yes.
He says that there was not, the amount wasn't paid, your driver's license was suspended, and your credit ruined.
Yes.
So why don't you tell me about the arrangement with your father?
On June 15th, at the last guardianship hearing,
look at me.
He knew that I had received the summons. I was being sued by the state for the welfare money, for the $2,392. He pulled me aside just before the last hearing and said, I will take care of this matter. I know you can't pay for it. I will take care of it. My lawyer at the time was standing right next to me. I'm a student. I'm a mom. I'm struggling. It's very difficult. It's not that I don't want to pay it back, but he promised to take care of it for me as a father because he knew I was having difficulty. I just started going back to school. I'm in college. I'm nearly completion of my 2-year degree in biology. So I'm very close now, but it's very difficult. I'm financially very strained right now.
So you want to pay the money back because it's your loan.
Right.
It's your debt.
Right. But he promised to take care of it for me. So that's why I'm here today, because I want him to honor that promise to me.
Let me hear your side of this, sir.
Well, ma'am, at no time have I ever said to anyone that I would pay this money either to her or for her. I did have a conversation after one of the guardianship hearings with her lawyer, Mr. Chavers, in which I asked him if he could get me information, a name of the district attorney and the phone number to talk to the person, because if you try and call in the district attorney's office, you get the royal runaround unless you have a case number. Because I had some things I want to discuss with him. What I didn't tell him at the time was that I was curious as to why they were charging her, Sandy, more than Jessica had received. And if he assumed from that conversation that I was saying I was going to pay for it, it was a 100% erroneous assumption.
Were you taking the money from the state because you needed it for your granddaughter, sir?
No. We could have supported her without it. In fact, most of the period of the guardianship, we didn't even know that we were eligible to receive it. It was a previous caseworker that said that we could receive that money, and in fact, it went for her daycare.
So how long did you have her in your custody without receiving any support?
I would say in the neighborhood of a year.
Because prior to that, you had foster care money that was
Yes, ma'am.
coming in. Step up, sir.
Your Honor, if
Yes.
I may, at any time during this whole guardianship issue, they knew that they could return my daughter to me with no strings attached. They
Well,
could
Ms.
return
Bocock, I
her.
don't believe that that's absolutely true.
I was absolutely willing to pay every cent to take care of her. I've never had a problem with that. But he promised to pay this amount. He said that he would.
Ms. Bocock, you just said a couple of things that really give me a problem. Let me tell you what they are, madam.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
My parents are lying, selfish people. Extremely selfish people. They have lied my entire life. I wanted him to honor his word this one time.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sandra Bocock is suing her father Bob for money owed to the state for child care of her 9-year-old daughter Jessica. Bob and his wife Barbara claim they looked after the little girl for 6 years and aren't responsible for the money.
If you wanted your daughter back, and you say there was no impediment to you getting your daughter back, and you were no stranger to the family court, all you had to do was to go into court, file your petition to terminate placement and to terminate guardianship, and if there was no impediment, you would have gotten your daughter back. So don't give me a lot of baloney that all they had to do was give her back. She's not a piece of meat. We're not talking about a parakeet.
I understand.
We're talking about a child.
I understand.
You understand that the child was removed from your care for cause by the family court, and the cause was neglect, because they only place children in foster care unless you voluntarily place your child when there is a finding of neglect. Aren't I right, sir?
This was under Arizona law, and I'm not familiar with Arizona law.
Well, Arizona is still part of the United States of America, sir. They do not remove children from parents without cause. Is that a fair statement?
Let me say this, that I've been involved in several cases where the issue of cause was at best in question, never substantiated.
That's why you're not the judge. That's why if the judge determines there's cause, a lawyer doesn't second-guess them. I don't care what your view of the evidence was. The state cannot remove a child from a parent unless the parent voluntarily places that child or there is cause. So don't give me a lot of baloney. I've been in this business much longer than you have, sir. And that was my specialty. So if it's not yours, it was mine for 25 years. Now, you want to tell me your recollection of the conversation with Mr. Bocock?
There were two distinct and different conversations. One occurred in the hallway of the court following the hearing on June 15th. That conversation was involving Mr. Bocock, his attorney, the attorney for the minor as well, negotiations going back and forth.
Child had a lawyer.
Correct.
Child's always had a lawyer. They're called a law guardian, correct?
That's right, ma'am.
And the discussion was whether or not the child should be returned to the mother, correct?
Not at that point, no. The discussion was on the timing.
Our attorney had not told us that at this particular hearing, there had been an agreement at the attorney's level that custody would be given back to Sandy. So all at once we're cold-cocked with this idea that we bring Jessica and she takes her home. And we
So
just
you
asked
wanted more of a transition?
Yes, just to the end of the school.
And was that ultimately worked out?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Is that correct?
It was, except for the his comment that it was a surprise to them. Came as quite a surprise to the counsels involved. For we normally work these things out before we appear at court, so the reluctance that was expressed was quite surprising to us.
Well, it's not surprising to me because according to your former client, this conversation took place on the 15th of June. And according to the defendant, grandfather of the child, He said but what he wanted was a transition so that the child could at least finish school, which I assume is 2 weeks down the pike at the end of June. Is that correct?
Yes,
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
That strikes you as being odd?
The fact,
His grandfather, who's had custody of this child for 6 years, says, listen, it's June 15th, school is over June 30th. You know, we need 2 weeks, and aside from the fact she's in school. Does that strike you as being peculiar, sir?
in view of the facts of the time, the fact that we've been discussing the transition for about 6 to 8 months before then, yes.
It did strike you as being odd.
We've been
That's
working,
odd. Doesn't strike me as being odd to wait 2 weeks until school is over. You have children?
Yes, I do.
Please, give me a break. All right, so now we're past that. Now we're down to money. Let me hear the conversation about the money.
We had been discussing for months the return of the child to the mother. It was obvious that the grandparents, because of the timing that they had applied for the AFDC payments, was already after the time that we had already discussing returning the child to the mother. There's not an issue of financial need on behalf of the grandparents. It was a matter of timing. At the hearing, the grandfather stated that he would handle the AFDC payments.
Just a second. What you heard is, I will handle it.
The exact verbiage, I'm unsure of. What I recall is handle it or words to that effect.
Okay, so you're not as sure what the words were.
Not
Thank
the
you. You can have a
exact
seat.
word. There was another conversation.
Give me the other conversation.
The other conversation in context. Following the hearing on the 15th, I hand-carried all the court documents from the AFDC payments to Mr. Bocock's attorney the following day, confirmed the fact that Mr. Bocock was willing to handle the AFDC payments. And
confirmed with whom?
Confirmed to his attorney in the letter that I sent.
Just a second. You sent a letter to the attorney.
Correct.
You have a letter from the attorney to you confirming that?
No, I do not have a letter disputing it either.
He doesn't have to dispute it. You have a letter you sent to him and say, here, your client says he's going to take care of this. You have a letter from his attorney that says, that's correct, my client is going to take care of this?
Based on my extensive dealings with his attorney, had that statement been incorrect, I would have received a letter back promptly.
I mean, this is a court, sir. You're a lawyer. You know, you can't rely on that. You sent him a letter. Here, your client said he would take care of this, and he says, what, is he crazy? Takes it and throw it in the garbage. You think that he has an obligation to respond to you? He has no legal obligation to respond to you.
But he did, in fact, respond.
How? Let me see.
The response was in the form of a conversation.
That's hearsay.
Yeah, I understand
with the
that,
attorney.
It's also
just a
operative
second.
Fact.
With the attorney, not with him.
No, I had a conversation with Mr. Bocock.
Tell me about your conversation with Mr. Bocock, not a conversation that you had with an attorney that didn't answer your letter.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why did she move away to be with the man who actually is on record of having beat Jessica?
I was emotionally abandoned as a child. Of course I'm going to go seeking emotional comfort from somebody else.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sandra Bocock says her father should be responsible to pay the state money owed for childcare of her 9-year-old daughter, Jessica. Bob Bocock says he took care of Jessica for 6 years and should not be held responsible for the money.
Tell me about your conversation with Mr. Bocock.
He told me to, if I would get the amount due that he had received, he would pay for that. He would reimburse that amount.
Did you ever say that to him, sir?
No, ma'am, I never did. I have a copy of the letter that I sent to my attorney.
Can I see the copy of the letter
in response to the letter that he had hand-delivered to her.
Let me tell you, I've seen this, I saw this letter. Have you seen this letter?
No, I've not.
Let me show it to you, sir. Evidently, there was some sort of a miscommunication. He said his concern was that they were asking her for more money than the child actually received from AFDC, and that the conversations that he had had with both you and his attorney dealt with the fact that he didn't understand why they were seeking more from his daughter than his granddaughter actually received from the state. All right. Listen to me very carefully, Miss Bocock. How old are you?
27.
You made a baby, right?
Yes.
You made a baby at a time that you had no right to make a baby, that you weren't prepared to take care of a baby. But for the fact that your parents took your daughter out of foster care and agreed to become foster parents to this child, there is a very strong probability, based on the fact that this child was out of your care, that your social worker was absolutely correct, that the state would have moved in a proceeding to terminate your parental rights and free the child for adoption. There is no question about that. And you are an intelligent young woman, and you know that. Your daughter is now 7?
She's 9.
9. And how long has she been in your care?
2.5 years.
So for the first 7 years of her life, you supported her with nothing.
I gave her love and emotional support, which is more than they gave her.
No. She was in foster care for a year, which means some strangers gave her love and affection, and then she lived with your mother and father, who were up with her during the night, who wiped her nose when she got sick. If she got an upset stomach, they took care of
Your
her.
Honor,
You were living there?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, I did live there for a couple months.
I'm not talking about a couple of months, madam. How long did your daughter live with your parents?
I don't remember the exact years. She lived with her for a number of years. But why did I end up pregnant at 17? The emotional and physical abuse in that home is unimaginable.
You better stop blaming other.
bad.
Listen to me. You better stop blaming other people for your life's travails, madam.
I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are. Your father didn't make you pregnant. There are lots of ways to get away from a bad situation. Having a baby is not one of them. There are other avenues. To make a long story short, what the state is now asking you for is $2,000. And they're saying, over the years, the state of California has probably spent $150,000 in foster care payments and administrative fees for your daughter. We're not seeking to recoup that from you now that you're back on your feet. We're seeking to recoup $2,000 from you. That doesn't sound like a lot if you make a baby. $2,000 over 9 years doesn't keep a child in shoes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Ms. Bocock, get your act together. Stop blaming everybody else for your troubles. I mean, your lawyer may think that somebody else is responsible for your troubles. Comes a point, you're 27 years old. You're responsible for your own troubles. And you can work out some sort of a system with the state to take care of this $2,000 that you owe them.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
I have paperwork. Last week, I received papers that they were going to garnish my wages.
Good!
Take my driver's license.
Just a second. Good.
Okay.
They can garnish your wages, and then you know that 10% of your wages are going to go to pay back the obligation that taxpayers in this state paid for your daughter. Now, I'm not quite frankly condoning, Mr. Bocock, the fact that you didn't really have a need for the money, and yet you took money from the state to support your grandchild. And I say that because even though the law gives you the right to do that, I always felt as if you didn't have a need for that and this was your blood, you should do it yourself. But between the two of you, you've got to pay for your child. Not him. It's not his obligation. It's your obligation. So, your lawsuit against your father is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
If she were so concerned about the emotional and physical well-being of her daughter, why did she move 450 miles away to be with her boyfriend who had physically abused her daughter?
I was emotionally abandoned as a child. Of course I'm going to go seeking emotional comfort from somebody else. That doesn't take a psychologist to figure out. He's been in my life for 10 years. He never beat her. My parents are lying, selfish people. Extremely selfish people. They have lied my entire life.
Why did she move away to be with the man who actually is on record of having beat Jessica? She is still with him. We don't know why.
That's all I wanted, was him to honor his word for once in his life. He has never made a promise that he's kept. He's broken promises my whole life. That's all I wanted.
করে চেস করে আগুন গাড়ি চেস করে পিছে তাকে কেউ নাই পরে কত জ্বালা ফেস করে ভাই তো এসে সামনে বলে পকেট কাড়ে তোলে তোলে আমার লাভে তোগো জলে জ্ঞান দিলে কেন মাথা জলে সেঞ্চুরিটা একা করি তেরা চাপা সুজা করি সুজা করতে না হইলে আঙুলটারে বেকা করি ডাইনে ফিউচার শর্টকাটটা বামে গিয়া দেখা করি চুপচাপ তুই সাইডে চাপ তোর ইতিহাস লেখা ধরি Yeah, welcome to the zone. This is CK from Joy. Cinetic বি কতক্ষণ হেরা ব্রাইটনেসে থাকে মগজ হাইনেসে রাখি যতক্ষণ না পতন দেখি ততক্ষণই ডিয়া থাকি যখন পুরা দেশে সস্তা বিফ ডিস গেম বেলু দেখা হ্যাং খায় জোসে মাথা বাম পায়ের তালু বেড়া হাত থাকতো তুই নাই খালি মার থাকতো খেলি নাই কারণ খেলে কোনো বাকি বাইসটা সদর দরজা খুলি না তো রয়্যাল বেঙ্গল টাইগার না রয়্যাল বেঙ্গল ভুদাই তুই তো কুত্তা দেখা খিসা সিনে পালপার রসুতায় ব্যানার ঈশ্বরচন্দ্র দাবি তেল দেশ নষ্ট তালা চাবি ট্যালেন্ট যুক্ত গুজব দিয়া স্ন্যাক পি চাইলে কি আর পাবি তুই তো রয়্যাল বেঙ্গল টাইগার না রয়্যাল বেঙ্গল ভুদাই তুই তো কুত্তা দেখা খিসা সিনে পালপার রসুতায় ব্যানার ঈশ্বরচন্দ্র দাবি তেল দেশ নষ্ট তালা চাবি ট্যালেন্ট যুক্ত গুজব দিয়া স্ন্যাক পি চাইলে কি আর পাবি তুই তোর দুঃসাহসী খুব ভাব রক্ত গরম খোলে তাপ লেজ দেখায় ভাই কিং কোবরা ফিজিক্সই তো ধুরা সবাই এরিয়া ডনবাগ বাইরে বিলাই পিস্তা গেদা হুদাই ছিলাই ডক হয়ে যে শখ হয়ে ভুলই চালা মাথা হিলাই লেভেলে নাই কোনো কাজে ছোট মাইরা বড় সাজে সাপের করতে ইন্দুর খুঁজে ছুজা কইলে কেন উল্টা বুঝে স্বভাবটা ভাই এতই বাজে খারে তুলে রক্ত চুষে টিকটক ফিল্টার মারা না একার কপি কইরা গায়ক সাজে লেন্স আছে সেন্স কই মেডাল আছে বেস্ট কই গুন্ডামি আর ওয়ান্ডামি তা মামলা পুলিশ কেস কই বেড়ারে আছে চার্জ নাই কুত্তা বিডা লাস্ট নাই আগলা টপিক চারা গেঞ্জাম খায়া দায়া কাজ নাই গো ভাত জুটে না গাঙ্গে এডি উড়া থাকে চাঙ্গে সাতো একটির পিটলে টাঙ্গে দেহি খুঁজলো তোর কোন লাঙ্গে খোলাই নেশার নকয় চান্দে পয়রা মায়া জালের ফান্দে জিক্সার 120 টান্দে বাইতে বুইরা বাপাই কান্দে তুই তো রয়্যাল বেঙ্গল টাইগার না রয়্যাল বেঙ্গল ভুদাই তুই তো কুত্তা দেখা খিসা সিনে পালপার রসুতায় ব্যানার ঈশ্বরচন্দ্র দাবি তেল দেশ নষ্ট তালা চাবি ট্যালেন্ট যুক্ত গুজব দিয়া স্ন্যাক পি চাইলে কি আর পাবি তুই তো রয়্যাল বেঙ্গল টাইগার না রয়্যাল বেঙ্গল ভুদাই তুই তো কুত্তা দেখা খিসা সিনে পালপার রসুতায় ব্যানার ঈশ্বরচন্দ্র দাবি তেল দেশ নষ্ট তালা চাবি ট্যালেন্ট যুক্ত গুজব দিয়া স্ন্যাক পি চাইলে কি আর পাবি